Well, hello, everybody, and welcome back to your favorite show on the internet, Raw Law Without a Filter. And in this corner, we have the fabulous, schmabulous, crabulous, bibulous, tabulous, Ellen Jackson! Coming in at 165 pounds, ready to destroy witnesses right here in front of you for your entertainment pleasure and to get a person actually acquitted of murder. And in this corner, we have coming in at 107 pounds with unbrushed hair, redder than a tomato, Lolly. You can't even announce his name without like going like, oh God, can you have like a different last name? Like why Lally? Like, what are you doing? I'm lollygagging. Oh, folks. Good morning, everybody. I hope you all are having a wonderful, wonderful Tuesday morning. I am way too energetic, and can you believe this is me without caffeine? Can you imagine what caffeine does to me? Oh, goodness gracious. All right. So today's going to be a big day, as I understand. So last week, for those of you who just decided to join us, we have, as you know, finished on this channel. Okay, so let me just do two kind of little recaps. We're still waiting for court to start, by the way. For those of you who want to see it, I can have it up on the screen right now, so you know it's not started yet. So you just like your OCD and your anxiety kind of goes away. So last week I streamed on Tuesday. There was no court Monday. Tuesday we did the direct examination and part of the cross examination. No, wait. Sorry. Direct examination of Jennifer McCabe was last Friday, a week and a half ago. And her direct examination started on Tuesday, and of course it didn't finish. It was 4 hours of beautiful cross. And unfortunately, I was on a flight. I was flying from Louisville to Houston on Wednesday morning, so I did not get a chance to watch any of the testimony. I want to surprise myself. What I'm probably going to do is I'm going to create a reaction analysis video of Jennifer McCabe's cross-examination. It may come in several pieces because that is a long one. And I don't know exactly how long she's been on the stand on Wednesday, but I know on Tuesday she was on the stand for like 4 hours. So it's a really, really long time. I believe, I could be wrong. Maybe not the full 4. I actually take it back. Maybe like 3 hours on Tuesday. Maybe chat can fill me in. How many hours did Jennifer McCabe testify for on Wednesday? But then we had Carrie Roberts testify. Do you guys want me to do Carrie Roberts at all? Like, do you want me to do an analysis of Carrie Roberts? Was it worth a damn? Tell me, chat. Do you want me to do the analysis of Carrie Roberts? I'm going to put a poll up actually right now. Oops, there we go. Start a poll. Should everybody's saying no? Okay, I'm not even going to do a poll. Everyone is saying no. Everyone is saying no. Okay, so it's not even worth it. What about Brian Higgins? Did the cross-examination of Brian Higgins start already? No, Carrie Roberts. Okay, so screw Carrie Roberts. Focus on Jennifer McCabe. Thank you, chat. Focus on Jennifer McCabe and focus on Jennifer McCabe. So I'll do that cross-examination. I'll do a separate video on that. And then the other thing that I'm looking at is Brian Higgins. The Brian Higgins cross-examination has already started. Okay, perfect. Thank you, chat. And it's amazing. Okay, I love it. Okay, so do you want me to do the cross-examination analysis? So after today, okay, today we're going to have a very short day for those of you just joining us. Okay, today's going to be a very short day. Today's a Tuesday, so we're going to be done at 1 p.m. And court will resume on Monday. No court tomorrow, no court Thursday, no court Friday. Okay, this is like the shortest week ever. 1 day, the entire week. Okay, so I'm gonna do the cross-examination of Jennifer McCabe. I'm gonna do a video on cross-examination of Higgins, and we're gonna continue Higgins' cross-examination today. Wait, today's a full day. Today's a full day? Why is today a full day? Bev said all day today. Oh, thank you, chat. Very good stuff. I love it. Okay. Let me let my thumbnail maker know. I need an afternoon as well. Okay. All right. Good to know. Thank you, chat. Let me do this real quick. Okay. All right. Jackson is not there. Is who's doing the cross examination of Higgins? Is David Yannetti doing the cross of Higgins? Allen is out on another trial? Wait, what? And yes, I've heard about Rekieta. I'm up to date on his situation. I tweeted about it. We'll talk about that some other time. Higgins is dodgy. Allen is out. When is Allen going to be back? Higgins was jealous because he wanted Karen. She was had flirty text messages with him because she wanted to feel wanted. Ah, I see. She didn't want to have sex with him. Got it. Went home to LA. Oops. All right. So I think Allen went home. I mean, going home to LA on such a short week makes sense because they did not have court Thursday. Also, that was a surprise, wasn't it? That was not supposed to happen. They were supposed to have court on Thursday. They were supposed to have court on Thursday, and they did not have court on Thursday, right? Or was it Friday? Thursday. Aiden had court on Thursday. So yeah, that was really weird. They were supposed to have court Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and they didn't have court Thursday. So I just missed Wednesday and Friday, which means I missed the end of Jennifer McCabe. I missed all of Kerry Roberts, but you're all telling me there I didn't miss anything. And now Brian Higgins direct examination. I know I didn't miss anything there because Lally was direct examining. That's why I didn't miss anything. And then Brian Higgins is now still on cross. Brian Higgins is still on cross, and that's going to be beautiful. He used FBI resources to extract his phone messages. What does that mean, Ashley Linnell? What does it mean, Chad? What does this message mean? He, meaning Brian Higgins, used FBI resources to extract whose phone messages? His own? He's an idiot. He got caught. He's in trouble with that. So Brian Higgins used FBI resources to extract his own phone messages? Why would you do that?
So can I see it sidebar?
Yep, it's just Yannetti and is it Melanie Little? No, Sorry, I forgot her name. Liza Little, thank you. Melanie Little is the local prosecutor here. He wanted to destroy his SIM card, apparently. What? Are you serious? Which trial is Alan
Versus
Jackson?
Karen Reed. Can I have counsel identify themselves for the record?
Adam Lally for the Commonwealth. Good morning, Your Honor.
Morning, Mr. Lally.
Which
Morning,
trial is
Madam
Alan
Law.
Jackson doing? Does
Morning,
anybody
Mr.
know?
Dolphin.
Good morning, Your Honor. Elizabeth Below.
Good morning, Ms. Little.
Good morning, Your Honor. David Unetti for Karen Reed.
Good morning, Ms. Giannetti. Good morning, jurors. Before
You are unmuted.
I just want to mention that Attorney Jackson is not here today. Please don't consider that in any way. Certainly don't hold it against Ms. Reed for him not being here. Just don't consider it at all in your deliberations. So I do have to ask you those 3 questions. Were you all able to follow my instructions and refrain from discussing this case with anyone? Everyone said yes or nodded affirmatively. Were you also able to follow the instruction and refrain from doing any independent research or investigation into this case?
Yes.
Everyone said yes or nodded affirmatively. Did anyone happen to see, hear, or read anything about this case since we left here? Everyone said no. Thank you very much. All right, let's bring Mr. Higgins in, please. And Ms. Giannetti, you'll be taking over?
I will, Your Honor.
Okay.
Does anybody know what Alan Jackson is doing? Which trial he is on?
You solemnly swear the evidence given to the court and jury in the case down here to the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, I do.
Jackson will be back
Good
on
morning.
Monday. That makes sense.
Morning. Proceed, Your Honor.
Yes.
Sir, you provided to investigators what you claim were the
I will do
complete
that, Ember Rain.
text exchanges between yourself and Karen Reed and yourself and John O'Keefe, correct?
What I provided was the complete, I let them know that it was a complete exchange between myself and the defendant. And I said that I may have had other text strings at other times with Mr. O'Keefe.
I'm going to proceed to ask you a series of questions which call for a yes or no answer. Can we agree that you'll answer yes or no to those questions?
If I can answer yes or no to the best of my ability, I will.
All right, I'm going to keep the question very simple, sir. Okay? You did not provide to investigators any other text messages between you and anyone else.
That's correct.
In September of 2022, you were served with a preservation order for your phone, were you not?
Yes,
After September of 2022, you never received anything in writing that canceled or lifted that preservation order, correct?
that's correct.
After September of 2022, you made the decision to dispose of your phone without consulting anybody about the
The
decision
sirens
to
again.
throw out your phone, correct?
Yes.
Before you threw the phone away, you did a factory reset of it, did you not?
No, I did not.
Well, you previously testified that you testified in another proceeding on June 1st, correct, of 2023?
Ah, prior
Prior to
inconsistent
that June
statement.
1st testimony,
He's going to impeach
you
him.
met with some people and gave a statement on May 5th of 2023, did you not?
I did meet with them. I don't know if that was the date.
Okay. It was prior to June, correct?
Yes,
All right. May 5th doesn't sound wildly inaccurate, does it?
no,
And when you met with those people on or about May 5th, we'll say, or whatever date it was prior to June 1st of 2023, you told them that you did a factory reset of your phone ending in 5421. Did you not?
I don't recall that. No, I don't recall making that statement.
You don't recall what you said about
He
the
seems very
factory
edgy.
reset during that interview, we'll call it, in May of 2023, correct?
That's correct.
May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
Is he always like this? Is he this edgy all the time?
Directing your attention to the first highlighted line there, sir.
Why don't you give him a second?
If you read that silently to yourself and look
He
up.
forgot
the
his
name when you're
own
done.
name? He forgot his own name? What? His life is about to change. I think he already has. He was Jacksoned on Friday. Oh my God, I can't wait to see that. So since there's no court tomorrow, Wednesday, Friday, tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, I'm gonna do the cross and analyze it, and it'll be a pre-recorded content.
All right, may I approach?
Yes.
Having read that document, sir, does that refresh your memory about telling those people in May of 2023 that you did do a factory reset of your phone?
That's not accurate. I did not tell them that. And I also didn't tell them that I saved texts with my father.
Father.
All right, so your testimony is that they got it wrong, correct?
My testimony is I didn't make those statements.
Your testimony is that they got it wrong, yes or no?
Objection.
Sustained.
Well, in any case, you took the SIM card out of your phone, correct?
No, what I testified to was that it's,
Did you take the SIM card out of your phone, yes or no?
I don't know.
What? How do
Did
you not know?
testify that that's what you do when you get rid of phones, sir?
What I said was that might have been the extent of it if I was to have
Oh
done
my
that.
God, what a
And
weasel.
you either cut up the SIM card or ripped it up, correct?
I believe what I testified to was I would have.
I don't
what you
care.
testified
Yes,
to.
I don't
I'm
care what you
asking you
testified to.
today,
Just give me
Did
the
you either
answer right
cut up
here,
the
right
SIM
now.
card or rip it up?
Dude,
Cut it up or broke it.
for the love
And you
of
will
God, just
agree
answer the
with
simple
me
question.
That cutting up or breaking the SIM card destroys the SIM card, does it not?
The card itself, yes.
That would have been the purpose in terms of cutting it up or ripping it up, to destroy it, correct?
Well, so nobody else could use the phone.
Well, that was my next question. But
In another
but
phone.
But the purpose of cutting up or ripping up or the SIM card is to destroy the SIM card, is it not?
Yes,
And you wanted to make sure that somebody couldn't put that SIM card in their phone and potentially access your data, correct?
no, that wouldn't be the reason why.
Okay. Well, we already talked about the fact that you testified under oath on June 1st of 2023, correct?
Yes,
And you were under oath when you were testifying on June 1st of 2023, correct?
yes,
You swore to tell the truth.
yes,
You raised your right hand.
that's correct.
And June of 2023, June 1st of 2023 was about a year ago, correct?
Yes,
It was about a year closer to your throwing your phone away, correct?
yes,
And in that testimony that you gave in June 1st of 2023, did you say the following, quote, "I made sure that somebody couldn't put it in their phone"?
yes, I did say that.
In fact, by either cutting up or ripping up your SIM card, you also knew that that SIM card couldn't be put back in your phone either, correct?
Yeah, I believe that would be correct.
And you'll agree with me that you took that destroyed SIM card and put it in a trash bag, did you not?
I believe it went in a trash bag, yes.
I love
Well,
this.
You used a passive voice. It went in a trash bag. Did it fly out of your hand unexpectedly into a trash bag, sir?
No, sir, it would have been disposed of with the phone.
No, I understand, but are you reluctant to say that
You
you put it in
did
a
it.
trash bag, sir?
You.
Can you answer that?
Yes.
You're reluctant to say that?
No, Your Honor, I put it in a trash bag.
There you go. Was that so hard, buddy?
Oh, with my
And
trash.
then you also took your phone, now without the SIM card, And you put that in the trash bag too, did you not?
Yes, sir.
Then you drove to a military base and you threw both the destroyed SIM card and the phone into a dumpster, did you not?
Well, I was cutting through the base, and I believe how I
Did you
testified
drive to a
was
military base, sir?
I was cutting through a base,
Did
yes.
you drive to it?
Yes, sir.
And then you put both the destroyed SIM card and the phone itself, which were in a trash bag, into a dumpster on that military base, did you not?
I believe that's what I did, yes.
And as you were driving away, you knew that that destroyed SIM card and the phone would be gone forever, correct?
Yes, I threw it away.
And before you drove away, you did not transfer anything from your old phone to the new phone, correct?
That's correct.
You lost all of your photos on that phone, did you not?
Whatever photos I had on there, I did, yes.
You lost all your videos on that phone, did you not?
To the extent if I had any.
You lost all of your other text messages besides the ones that you had with Karen Reed and John O'Keefe, correct?
That's correct.
And you knew that you did have text messages on that old phone with Kevin Albert.
Ooh.
He's a friend, most likely.
You also had text messages on your phone with Nicole Albert.
Most likely, yes.
And you had text messages on your phone with Brian Albert.
Yes.
It was important to you
Ah.
that no one see those text exchanges that you had with those three members of the Albert family.
Objection.
I'll let him have it.
No, sir,
Let
that's
him
not
have
true.
it.
You
The
took no
choice
steps
of
to
words.
preserve
Judge Bev just
those
changed
text
sides.
messages, did you?
Oh, let him have it.
That's correct.
You did not ask your friend Matt Kelch, the agent, to help you extract those text messages, did you?
That's correct.
And when you went to that machine, you did not extract them yourself, did you?
Bless you.
He walked me through it. I did do the extraction.
You did not extract the 3 strands of text messages with Nicole Albert, Kevin Albert, and Brian Albert to preserve from that machine, did you not?
No, I did not extract those.
So the only place you knew they existed was on your old phone, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
The same phone that you put into a dumpster on a military base with a SIM card removed from the phone and destroyed, correct?
Well, I did throw the SIM card and the phone on the military base.
Right, and the SIM card was destroyed. You've already testified to
I
that.
said to the extent of if I did that, I would have done that.
And we're talking about the actual phone that would have had your text messages, again, with Brian, Nicole, and Kevin Albert, correct?
Yes, because the motion was denied.
Well,
Wait.
you've already testified, sir, earlier that you never received anything in writing that either canceled or lifted the initial preservation order, correct?
That is correct.
You knew when you were throwing that phone and the destroyed SIM card in the dumpster that from that day forward, no one would ever be able to access the content of what you and Brian Albert had discussed by text messages on your old phone, correct?
Anybody.
I have nothing further.
Oh,
Mr. Lally?
Thank you, Your Honor.
damn, son. Damn. Coming in hot, Nettie. Love it.
Morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
If I could take you back just for a moment to January 29th, early in the morning, you're pulling away from the Albert home, correct?
Yes.
And you had the plow down in the front of your Jeep Wrangler, is that correct?
Initially, it was still on the ground, yes.
And about how long distance again was that on the ground before you pulled that up?
Maybe a foot.
And with relation to the curb, specifically in front of the area with the flagpole and fire hydrant, how close to the curb were you when you were pulling away from the Albert house?
I believe I looked both ways. There was no vehicles coming in either direction. I pulled out into traffic, and because that's a one-lane road, if there's no other vehicles, I'd be more to the center of that road.
Now, maybe a silly question, but with reference to the front of your Jeep Wrangler, that didn't have any red plastic pieces or anything like that on the front of it, correct?
At what time? At what point?
At any time.
No.
And that's the same Jeep Wrangler that you then drove to the Canton Police Station immediately after?
Directly from there, yes.
And then you drove that same Jeep Wrangler back to your home in West Roxbury?
Yes.
And then you drove that same Jeep Wrangler back to Fairview Road later on that morning?
Yes.
And then you drove that same Jeep Wrangler from Fairview Road to the Canton Police Station again later that morning, correct?
Yes.
Now, the text communications between yourself and Ms. Reed, again, who initiated those?
The defendant did.
And that was on January 12th, 2022, correct?
About 8:23 in the evening, I believe.
Now, with reference to that, what she claimed happened in Aruba, that was something that she mentioned to you via text, correct?
God, we're back to Aruba.
The incident
Wow.
itself, I believe, was through text, but I believe the actual location
Lally.
was when she had stopped by my place in West
Lally.
Roxbury.
Lally, bro.
But so that's
come
to
on.
my point. So, sir, with regard to the incident itself, she referenced that both via text and in person to you as well.
Yes, that's correct.
And the kiss that she planted on you in the garage at Mr. O'Keefe's house, that was again something that she mentioned both in text and verbally in person. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Now, as far as the ghosting that you were asked questions about last Friday, there were some text messages between you and the defendant on January 19th, correct?
What was the date? I'm sorry.
January 19th.
19th?
Yes.
Yes.
And do you recall if there were any text messages between you going either way, between yourself and the defendant between January 19th and January 23rd?
I think there were, not 100%.
Madam Mayor, approach.
Yes.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as Exhibit 104A. Direct your attention to the back there, specifically the back page. If you could just let me know whether or not there's any text messages between yourself and the defendant, Ms. Reed, between January 19th and January 23rd.
Yes. Looks like the 19th and the 23rd, both text messages.
But in between those dates, and what I'm asking about is January 20th, January 21st, January 22nd. There's no text messages on any of those dates, correct?
I don't see any.
And then as far as between January 23rd and January 28th, January 28th is when you texted her while you were both within the waterfall, correct?
On the 28th, yes.
So between the 23rd and the 28th, so on January 24th, January 25th, January 26th, January 27th, you didn't send any text messages to her, you didn't receive any from her, correct?
I don't believe so, no.
And then beyond that one text message that you testified to on the 28th, the next text message you received from the defendant was in regard to John being dead on the 29th, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Now, you asked some questions about these text messages and whether or not you discussed them with various people. Did you discuss those text messages with anyone?
Not to my knowledge, no.
Why not, sir?
To be honest with you, I mean, on a personal level, I kind of keep things to myself. I was a little embarrassed. Wasn't really proud of them. Kind of maybe didn't show me in a good light with respects that I was John's friend.
Oh.
And so with regard to that
Okay.
text on January 28th that you had sent her in the waterfall, she didn't respond as she was in the waterfall with her boyfriend, Mr. O'Keefe, correct?
That's correct.
He is so beta.
Now, if
I agree.
the defendant did not have a boyfriend, wasn't dating Mr. O'Keefe, would you have been interested in pursuing anything further with the defendant?
I can't say. I don't know.
What, if any, reservations would you have based on the conversations that you had?
Just everything was so out of left field. I just found it hard to believe.
Find what hard to believe?
With reference to going.
Are you
the
finding it
Canton
hard to
Police
believe that
Station
you guys
after
are all
Fairview
getting
Road and
caught
moving
in this?
vehicles around? Which is closer to the Canton Police Station? Your home in
Conspiracy?
West Roxbury or the home on Fairview Road?
And cover up? Is
The
that
home
what's
on Fairview
so
Road would be.
unbelievable? I wonder.
And with the impending weather, why was it that you went to the Canton Police Station to move vehicles around on that occasion?
Because as I stated before, if I didn't do it then, I would have had to come back in the morning. And I knew the weather was going to be getting worse. I knew that I had a long day. I had been in New York. I had been out the night before in New York, and I just thought it was best to get them moved at that point.
Now, you were asked some questions on Friday about a phone call or something in a call log from about 2 o'clock or 2:22 in the morning of January 29th. Do you recall that?
I recall the questions, yes.
And you have an iPhone, or you had an iPhone, is that correct?
Yes.
Now, when you make a call on an iPhone, as you sort of place that call, you hit the button, there's sort of a timer that comes up and it starts counting off seconds as the call is being connected, correct?
I believe so.
Okay.
I'll allow it.
And so seconds are ticking off while the call is being connected, correct?
I believe so,
And
yes.
if a call is connected, then it starts ringing, and unless someone picks up immediately, there are further seconds that are ticking off on an iPhone while that call is ringing through, correct?
I believe so.
The objection sustained is to the form.
You were asked some questions about a call or a call back between yourself and Brian Albert around that time frame. Do you recall that?
Yes.
And you were trying to explain sort of what your answers were in that prior proceeding in reference to that, correct?
Yes.
What, if anything else, did you want to explain to the jury in regard to that?
Objection.
In that form, I'll sustain.
You were asked some specific points as far as your testimony in the prior proceeding, correct?
Yes.
What, if anything else, did you say in reference to that in the prior proceeding?
Objection.
Sustained is to the form, Mr. Lawler.
Jesus, Lally, get your shit together.
Did you ever speak with Brian Albert at 2:22 in the morning on January 29th?
No, I did not.
Do you recall making a call or receiving a call from Brian Albert around that time?
No, I do not.
You were asked some questions on Friday regarding key card access within the Canton Police Station, correct?
Yes.
Now, as far as that door that you utilized, you would testify on Friday that you would sort of park down towards the back and then come in through the Sallyport area, is that correct?
So I believe I was referring to one of the two Sallyport doors.
And that was sort of your cut through in order to get to your office.
Yes.
Now, with reference to that particular area, as far as going in and out from the parking lot of the Sallyport, does the key card, you have to swipe a key card in order to go in and to go out?
So sometimes if you're close to the door, maybe having a conversation with somebody, it could activate the key card itself. But physically, if I'm going into the door, I would take it out and I would swipe it. I would hold it to the card reader. Some are more sensitive than others, is what I'm trying to say.
And similar to when you're going in, when you're going out, does that require sort of swiping or using the key card in order to go outside?
So there are some doors that you need to swipe out of, and I believe the booking room and the Sallyport itself are doors such as those.
May I approach?
Yes.
I'll show you a document of place 149. If you could just take a look at that and look up when you're finished. You recognize that, sir?
Yes,
Is that the same document that was, essentially the same document that was placed before you on Friday?
yes,
And that's a 167-page document encapsulating different key swipes within the Canton Police Station on January 29, 2022, correct?
yes.
And from those 167 pages, at least on that first page, does there appear to be about 27 entries there?
Yes.
And so from 27 entries over a course of 167 pages, that'd be somewhere north of 4,500 entries within those 167 pages. Does that sound right?
Well, I went to public high school, but I'll take your word for it.
Oh, we know that, buddy. You
Would
don't
it
have to tell
surprise
us
you
twice.
that, there are 18 entries within those 4,500.
So not what would surprise him. Ask the question differently, Mr. Howard.
You know that there are 18 entries that contain your name within those records.
Objection. Formal question.
No, I'll allow that.
Are you asking me if in the 167 pages, there's only 18 entries with me?
Yes.
I did
What
not
does
know
this
that, no.
mean, Francois Perrin?
Would that
The
surprise you
FBI
as
has
far as your-
everything.
Well, let me.
Brian
let me
Higgins,
rephrase
is
that.
it
Now, with
confirmed that
respect
Brian
to
Higgins is an
your
informant for the FBI?
Travels around Canton Police Station on that.
And is he going to
particular
lose
day.
his immunity? Do you guys know?
Would you
what
go
have we
with
learned on
18 entries
Friday?
As far as where you went and what you did in Canton PD that day?
No, in and out, nope.
And is he a police officer? Is he one of the police officers?
Now, sir, with respect to your phone, you were provided notification in regard to a preservation order in regard to your
Not
phone sometime
confirmed.
in September of 2022, correct?
I received a subpoena on September 30th, 2022.
He's an
And
ATF
that was in
agent.
regard
Got
to
it.
a hearing in which counsel for the defendant was seeking your physical phone as evidence, correct?
Yes,
And is it your
Is
understanding?
he
or were
still
you
currently an
informed after
ATF
that,
officer?
that sometime in early
Or
October
has
of
he also
2022
magically
that motion
retired?
had been denied?
so I believe it was October
is he on leave?
21st of that
Paid,
year.
unpaid?
I was made aware that that was denied on actually October 5th.
Are you aware of a 30-day period?
still
By
working.
which a defendant has to file some sort of notice of.
Or they took
appeal
him
with
out
motion?
of the field and now he's working
allow
desk
that.
duty. Got it.
I know
you.
typically there's appeal periods. In this particular sense, I wasn't familiar with the preservation order itself. What a preservation order was with respects to, that was kind of all new to me. Usually in an investigation that I'm conducting, it's a search warrant, I take the phone. I don't ask people to preserve it through a court order, if that makes sense.
And so when was it that you disposed of your phone?
It was about 2 months after that,
And why was it that you disposed of your phone?
because it was beaten, it was broken up, and I had already had a new phone, and only explanation is I threw it away. That's it.
Now,
You lying
beyond
sack
sort
of
of this
shit.
case, what if anything else was going on with reference to your personal phone that led you to want to get rid of it?
So in July of 2022, I had a target of an investigation I was working who alleged that he called me on my personal cell phone. And when I questioned him as to the fact how he obtained my personal telephone number, he told me that his girlfriend had obtained it off of open source internet, which I later confirmed that number was out there.
What, if any, concerns did that raise?
Wow. That's your
So I had a lot of
excuse.
concerns. And so July of 22 is when I probably started thinking about, you know what, I got to get rid of the telephone number itself.
What?
And a lot of the work.
The
that you were
telephone
doing, at least at
number
that time, was
itself?
undercover work. Is that correct?
That's your
Before
answer?
this case right here, yes.
Now, as far as the.
Does
SIM
this
card
guy
that you're
really think
talking
you were
about,
buying his
do
bullshit?
you have any
Seriously.
specific memory of doing anything with that SIM card?
No, and that's how I testified in that other hearing, that
I
to
don't
the
care how you-
extent of what I
objection.
would have done
Nobody
is I would have
cares.
cut it up or broke it. And the concern would be that to my understanding, that's not holding any photos, that's not holding videos, that's not holding my contacts. It's holding phone information itself.
And as far as photos or videos or what, if anything like that, did you even have one?
I didn't have much in the sense that I'm divorced. I don't have kids. I didn't have the typical memories that somebody would have had
Oh
on
my
their phone
God.
that they wanted to preserve. They were more like the text messages with the defendant where it would
Excuse
be
after excuse
a
after
drink
excuse
glass at
after
a bar.
excuse.
food,
Oh my
something
God,
along
this
those
guy.
lines. I had more of a connection to my work phone and more of a value to my work phone than I did my personal phone.
What the? No, dude.
Now, as far as that military base down the Cape,
Wow.
How
Can you
often-
imagine what the jurors are
let
thinking
me
right
ask you
now?
this. When you lived at the residence in Barnstable County, what would you do with your trash down
Well, if I was going through and I had trash or some recycling and I was either getting gas on the base or hitting the duty free, I would occasionally toss a bag of trash in one of the dumpsters
Oh my
there.
God, I can't listen
And-
to this
or-
guy. He's driving me insane.
If I forgot, I would throw it out when I got back to my other property. And at the time, at one point, I was living in Canton
Everything has
and
an
I had the
excuse.
house there and then I sold it and then I had the in-law I was renting. So I
Each
had
one
other
lamer than
options
the
to throw
last.
things away.
there? Do you have trash pickup at your residence in Barnstable?
No,
So if you were to throw away anything, any sort of trash, it would have to be either at the base or at one of your other homes.
it would be somewhere else.
And so with reference to the phone and the SIM card, if you even did you drive specifically to the base to throw your phone away or were you throwing it away with other trash?
It was just with other trash.
Oh my God, dude. Oh my God.
You were shown some
me.
call logs.
Please kill me.
Or some toll records or something to that
All right,
effect.
I'm gonna turn it down just a little bit so I can talk to you all because this is boring as shit. Sorry.
January 29th,
First of all, it is Chandler's birthday today, so woo!
Specifically-
Happy birthday, Chandler!
That was something that someone was
She's
able
saying
to
thank you
obtain
from the other room.
without your phone.
I don't know if you guys can hear
without your
that.
SIM card, correct?
That's correct.
Mwah!
I approach this to retrieve now.
Chandler's birthday. We're gonna party like it's your birthday, and we don't even give a if it's your birthday. I in the club. I want what you need. I didn't even make enough. So come give me a.
You want a hug?
Well, sir, going back to January 29th, pulling away from the residence on Fairview Road, you didn't see anything on the side of the road, is that correct?
Absolutely not, no.
And what is it that you would have done had you seen anything or had you seen Mr. O'Keefe on the side of the road on January 29th?
I've spent my whole life between being a firefighter, working in the profession that I work now, being a tactical medic. If I had saw John O'Keefe on the side of the road, I would have done something to make a difference.
No further questions.
Jurors,
We're
feel
done
free to
here.
Stand up and stretch.
All right, so while they're doing side back, what else can we talk about? So yeah, it's Chandler's birthday. There was something else I wanted to say, and I forgot what it was now. We're hiring. We're hiring. So if you are in Louisville or you want to move to the Louisville area and you want to be my second case manager, you are more than welcome to apply. The position is wide open. Anybody and everybody is welcome for the position. We had some interest. We had about 5 applications so far. Only one really caught my eye, but it's kind of a weird one. So I'm kind of, I don't know. I'll interview her this afternoon. The position is not online. The position is in person in the building every day. You have to show up in person. You do not have to be a lawyer. You do not have to have a law degree. It does not require any legal education. If you have some legal experience, it's great. If not, look, it is what it is. We can probably train you. But if you have like a couple of years legal experience, that would be preferred. But it has to be in person, in Louisville, in the building, every morning, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., no exceptions. Okay? I did hear about the storms, Cindy. I was in the Bahamas, so I just heard about them. I was not present during the storms. Also, I've been in touch with Kelly Reed, who is Karen Reed's sister. I've been kind of going back and forth with her. I have her phone number now, so we've been just kind of chatting. She's the woman who was sitting next to me while I was in court. She was seated immediately to my left. That's Kelly. And Kelly has told me that she might be able to get me in 2 weeks. So I'll be back in Massachusetts in a couple of weeks.
Sir, you testified that a prime motivator of you to get rid of your phone was a
Here we
July
go.
22nd call from a target of an investigation that you were working on.
I never said it was a prime motivator.
Was it a prime motivator?
No, what I testified to was the phone number was what I was concerned about primarily.
Right.
Didn't have anything to do with the phone.
Oh, you did not change your phone number on July 22nd, correct?
July of 2022? Is that what you mean?
The date that you received a call supposedly from a target of an investigation you were working on was July 22nd of which year?
So it was, I believe it was July 25th of 2022.
July
I was so
25th.
concerned that I reported it to my supervisor.
Right, but you did not change your phone number after that for quite a while, correct?
I believe it was September.
Okay. So for those months, you kept the same phone number and kept the same phone, correct?
I did.
And September happened to be the month that you received the preservation order from this court, correct?
September of 22, yes.
Right. Now, with regard to the text exchanges that you had with Karen Reed, you testified that you were embarrassed about them.
Well, I wasn't proud of them.
I think your word was embarrassed, correct?
I can agree to that. That's fair.
Well, you already testified to that, right?
I believe that
About
might have
5
been
minutes ago?
a word I used, yes.
And you also explained that you would keep things like that to yourself, correct?
That could be something, yes.
However, you would also agree with me that while they were going on, you told your boss about that text exchange, correct?
Well, I told her about the kiss.
Do you deny telling your boss about the texting that you were doing with Karen Reed?
I don't know if I specifically recall that, no.
But you don't deny it, sir, correct?
It's possible that I told her about that. I'm not going to deny it.
All right. And in any case, those text exchanges were preserved. You preserved those before disposing of your phone, correct?
Correct.
And with regard to the other text exchanges that you did not preserve with the Alberts, including Brian Albert, are you familiar with the term consciousness of guilt, Mr. Higgins?
The
objection system.
Yes!
Yes.
Get him, Eddie! Look at his face! Look at his face! Consciousness of guilt. He's literally showing us what that looks like. Oh my god!
Just one more thing. With regard to the date that you changed phone numbers on your phone, you would agree with me that was September 29th of 2022?
When I actually changed the phone number?
That's what I just asked.
Yeah, yes, I also got a new phone, yes.
Okay. September 29th of 2022, you changed your phone number and got a new phone. And then September 30th, the next day, you were served with the preservation order, correct?
I got the preservation order on the 30th, that's correct.
Nothing.
All right, Mr. Higgins, you are all set, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you.
Sir. Thank you so much for playing. Bye-bye. Have a wonderful day, sir.
All right, Mr. Lally, who's your next witness?
May we approach?
Sure.
I hate how she says that. I wish we could take his blood pressure right now. That would be awesome. All right, we got some super chats. Let's see. Adventurous Word says he used a computer inside the FBI and asked an agent to use it to get the info. Oh my god. Oh, it's okay. I can do my own investigation into myself. Don't worry about it. I promise I will not be hiding anything. What? That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Ashley Linnell says, yes, he needed his lawyer. He had a friend help him. They did a proffer that it is a crime. The messages he shared with Karen and passed over to law enforcement. Interesting. Very, very interesting. I can't wait to catch up on that. Ozzy Wombat0105, thank you so much for your super chat. Kyle Cowden says, a lot went into Friday court. Sidebar called and Karen was included. She came back smiling. Higgins had an attorney for some questions. Tons of, oh my God. I need to watch Wednesday and I need to watch Friday. Ozzy Wombat
Chris,
also.
we're going to take a 10-minute recess.
You are unmuted.
All rise for the court, please.
Ozzy Wombat also says illegally used FBI resources to download crap from his phone and then destroy the phone instead. Yep, that's what I gathered. Thank you so much for that. And thanks again for another super chat. Today is a full day, I believe. Yes, Chris Stroll, I think we gathered that as well. Thank you so much. I'm going to be here all day then. Someone tipped them off about that order. Everyone got new phones and numbers. Yeah, absolutely. No question at all. Qatar says, what education is required to be an ATF agent? Apparently high school is enough because he said, I have a high school degree and that's all he's gotten. Ozzy Wombat also says, I'm still horrified at how corrupt supposed police government officials are, no matter what country you
All
are
right,
in.
so Mr. Lally, your next witness is a juvenile?
Yes, Sean.
All right, so there's a specific media order that there'll be no transmission of this
No
testimony.
transmission. Yeah,
And
that's
by
fair.
agreement of the parties, the child witness will be sitting in the courtroom, in the witness stand when the jury comes back in. And that's by agreement, Ms. Giannetti?
All right,
Yes,
they're
Sean.
going to cut
All
the
right,
feed.
so 10 o'clock or so we'll come back out?
All rise.
Are we doing like an early morning break? That's like super early. We haven't been in court for an hour.
Hey there, Karen
No,
Reed, trial
no,
watcher.
no, not interested. Shut up. Don't care what you have to say. So interesting, very interesting. The next is a juvenile after Brian Higgins. Does anybody have the list? The witness list? I'm gonna read your message, Kyle. Higgins is a BATFE agent. What is a BATFE? BATFE? Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and Explosives. Okay, I didn't know that was the full title. Actually, I thought it was always ATF. Agent, and his previous testimony was a grenade. And at one point, he yelled, "I didn't do anything wrong here." Oh wow. He had a criminal defense attorney on Friday. The attorney was called in for Jackson's proffer about the violation of federal law. Then Jackson started asking very specific questions as if he had solid intel. He answered the questions after consulting with his attorney. He pulled back from Kelch's involvement and changed to, he talked me through it. It sounded a whole lot like Kelch spilled the tea and the defense has it. And then Brian Higgins went through the, what would you do if you were disposing of the phone? I'm sorry, Alan Jackson went through the, what would you do if you were disposing of the phone, and got to where they asked about his going on the base at a particular time and how he threw the SIM card in one dumpster and the phone in the other. Oh, that's very important. That shows consciousness of guilt right there. They either have footage or they have the phones. The questions about the threads, they either have the footage or they have the phones. The question about the threads tells me the latter, or they got it from the extractions at the FBI Digital Forensics Lab, maybe from Kelch. The base questions are where Bev ended it. The camera pulled back and Lally had his head in his hands on the table? Wait, is that true? Chat, did that happen? Lally had his face, his head in his hands on the table? What? Oh my God, I want to see this. Let's see. So Friday, I'm going to need your help, chat. All right, let's go to the live streams. Day 17, I imagine, right? Share this tab. It's a long one. It's 7 hours and 52 minutes. All right. So this is Friday. This is last week, okay? Let me do a little banner so that people know. Let's create a banner. Last week's testimony. Add a banner. All right. So that people are aware that this is not live, okay?
Without Ms. Reed, or you would see Ms. Reed without Mr. Recall whether or not you were at the police station.
I just feel like I spread myself too thin, and sometimes it's thankless. I responded, Defendant responded,
Last 30 minutes.
You probably felt that way too. I responded, I did it times correctly.
You and me both. So you reflected it correctly. So Matt Kelch is an ATF agent who works at the FBI Regional Computer Forensics Lab, correct?
Yes,
And he's an expert in digital forensics, is he not?
he has a level of expertise more than myself,
And
yes.
he's one of your best friends.
He is my best friend.
You spoke to him about the death of John O'Keefe, did you not?
Yes,
And you asked him for a personal favor, sort of off the books, correct?
objection.
In that form, I'll sustain it.
Did you ask him for a personal favor?
No,
Did you ask him to show you or consult with you how to pull things off of your phone that you decide to get off your phone?
I asked him how I could pull text strings off my cellular telephone for the purpose of providing them to law enforcement.
This was not in connection with any case that he was working, correct?
That's correct.
It was not in connection with any case you were working, correct?
Objection.
Objection sustained, but you already answered. I'll strike that answer. Second question, you can answer. Is this in connection to any case you?
No, Your Honor.
Next question.
But you asked your friend to utilize his resources to teach you how to extract certain information off your phone? Is that what you did?
All right, let's get to the ending. People are saying it's like the last 5 minutes or so. All right, this is a sidebar.
Thank you, Courtney.
Please.
Wait, no. That's not it. That's not it. Let's see. Oh, Karen. Karen's chair is empty.
That's
You're right. Karen Reed was at the sidebar.
But after the date, the order was already denied.
Mr. Higgins, I have one question left. One question. Did you, Mr. Lally already standing. I haven't even started.
Have a seat, Mr. Lally. Go ahead. Last question, Mr. Jackson.
Quiet, please, quiet.
Mr. Higgins, very simply, and then we're done. Did you remove the SIM card for that phone, drive onto a military base, throw the SIM card in one dumpster and the phone in a different dumpster?
That is not correct.
Did you testify that?
That was your one question, Mr. Jackson. All right.
Yeah, I
Folks,
heard that.
that's it.
Someone laughed very hard.
We'll see you Tuesday. Have a great long weekend, please. It's very important. Do not discuss.
Wait,
this
where's
case with
Lally?
anyone. Don't do any independent research or
I need
investigation.
a timestamp.
into
Can
this
somebody
case.
please provide me a
If you happen to
timestamp?
see here or research.
One question. Higgins, you here's
Hold on. I'll mute it just so that you guys are not annoyed by the sounds. Because we're just looking for an image. We're looking for an image to pan to Lally. If anybody can provide me with a timestamp, that would be glorious. That would be very helpful. You need to back it up 15 minutes from the end, people are saying. So 7:51 would be like 7:36. Like somewhere around here. Look at how happy they are. They're really happy. That's really good. When you see defense counsel smiling like that, that's like, wait. Lally looks so defeated, but I don't see his face in his hands. Lally was crying. Okay, there's his lawyer. Was it before or after the lawyer? Was it before or after the lawyer comes in? Was it before or after the lawyer comes in that Lally had his palms on his face? After? Can anybody give me a timestamp, please? Because I think I'm missing it. All right, I'll mute it and we'll do playback speed 2x. Is it somewhere here? Lally does have terrible posture. I've noticed that too. He's just slouching so much. There's a lot of guilt and lying that is weighing him down. He's carrying the weight of his witnesses. That's a great way to phrase things. I think the jury just walked back in because the lawyer just left. So wait, did the jury see Lally putting his hands on his face like that? Did the jury actually see that? Or was the jury out of the room? The jury was in the room. Oh my God. Wait, just saw it. Who? Rob Carpenter said, wait, I missed it? Where did I miss it? Where did I miss it? Hold on. You guys are killing me. I'm missing it. I don't remember seeing it. People are conflicted. Okay, obviously it's not going to be here because this is not even, the camera can't pan that fast. It can't go. Okay, let me see right here. Maybe we'll see it as the camera pans to the judge. No. Can somebody please provide me a timestamp? This is killing me. I mean, I'll eventually see it. I'll eventually find it when I do the full. Well, it's like whenever Lally's in the frame, that's when I need to like look, right? Okay, hold on. All right, this is really murder. Well, let me go back 20 minutes. Wait. There's a Lally on screen. No, several people said that he had his palms on his. Wait, Q, do you have it? Oh, there it is! There it is! There it is! Found it! I found it! I found it! Right here. Oh my God. It's real. 7:30. Look at him. Watch, right here. Watch.
We may as well use this time with me asking counsel a question at sidebar.
Is that it? Was that what? But he was just reading something. No, he was just, I think he was just reading something. It's still good for a thumbnail.
Use this time with me asking.
Yeah, they were whispering,
We may as well
but
use.
I don't care. 7:30:15. He looks very defeated. 7:30:15. I'll send that to my thumbnail maker. That's good. That's really good. It's a good screenshot. I wish I could like zoom in, but I can't zoom in on the video. Oh, thank you for the gifted subs, Fraud Wrangler. Thank you very much, brother. Shout out if you got a gifted membership from Wrangler. Pardon my ignorance, but how big a deal is it legally for YouTube creators to file knowingly false copyright strikes over legit fair use? Happens all the time. You just fight them back. I just received one myself that I'm contesting, and they have 10 days to file a lawsuit against me. Well, now I think it's less than that, which I highly doubt they're going to do. They're idiots. I actually reached out to the guy and I was like, hey man, how about we just like be friends and stuff? And he just completely ignored me. I was like, all right, bucko, buckle up, because I'm gonna contest it, and I'm gonna win in 3 days because they're not gonna file suit. It was fair use. I used their content and I modified it. I commentated on it. I commentated all over it. And just, do you want to be a dick? Good luck. You know, you can't use copyright strikes to intimidate people. That's very uncool. I believe Karen was called up to the sidebar at the end of the day because Jackson wasn't going to be there to finish the cross. Oh, maybe. Very, very possible. So that his client is aware and the judge is aware that his client is aware. Adventurous Word says, Brian Higgins admitted on the stand that he used multiple resources for personal gain. He broke federal laws, had to have his lawyer beside him while on the stand. You should go back and watch his face when he got called out on all of it. Oh, I will. I'm going to be doing all of it. All of it. All of it. Yes, I heard about Chili de Castro. But yeah, no, it's extremely uncool, by the way, extremely uncool and unprofessional to copyright strike. Like there's a lot of times people use my content that's purely mine and don't modify it. I will copyright strike you. If you do not modify, if you just steal the content and you copy and paste it on your channel, I don't care. I will copyright strike you 100% of the time. But the minute you modify it, you add commentary, you say DUI guy is a shitbag and he should die in a hole and he's an idiot and a moron and the worst lawyer I have ever seen, I'll be like, this is legitimately modifying this content. Good for him. This person really doesn't like me, but hey, if you're liked by everyone, you're doing something wrong. That's my policy. If you're not hated by somebody, you're definitely doing things wrong. So there's really a couple of ways to get to be like, copyright stricken. One of them is the right way and one of them is the wrong way. The wrong way is to just come after somebody just for the sake of coming after them. That's extremely uncool. But if they legitimately stole your content and they did not, yeah, it has to be transformative. If there's no transformation whatsoever, oh, by God, copyright strike them. Are you kidding me? They're stealing your stuff and monetizing it and trying to make money off of you and your hard work. And that's not cool. That's not cool. I archive things on a regular basis. I archive things on a regular basis because people are like, YouTube immediately like always detects like somebody has detected like you've been using your content, and I look at it and I'm like, oh, they modified it. Okay, check mark. I don't care. But there were a couple of times over my 10-year LawTube career, my 10-year YouTube career, I should say. And it was like, these people literally just flat out just stole my content, like copy and paste. They took my short or my video and were like, okay, this is mine now. And I'm sharing it on my channel. And I said, no, you're not. You're either going to pay me for it or you're going to take it down. Pick one. It has to be transformative. And your haters are your biggest fans. That's exactly right. We have one. I'm going to call them out right here, right now on stream because I can. During the Johnny Depp trial, there was this one individual by the name of Tug Simp. You guys know Tug Simp? Tug Simp, I believe, is a female. She was in That Umbrella Guy's stream on a regular basis. She's a viewer. I think she's a moderator for Tug and maybe a few others. Tug is, again, That Umbrella Guy, for those of you who don't know. And she used to be like one of my biggest fans, like huge fan, huge fan during the Johnny Depp trial. Then there was a split, right? The Jax camp and the Brown Rudnick camp. So everyone who went with like Jax and Waldman and Andrea Burkhart and all of them. And I said, no, this is disgusting. This is gross. Like, I do not abide by this. You guys are disparaging a law firm that has done a lot of hard work, and you have nothing but speculation. And all you have to do is wait, just wait. We're going to get you stuff. Just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait. I mean, it's been a year now. It's been over a year since that we were supposed to wait for stuff to come out, and there's nothing because there is nothing. And I called them out. Tug Simp has become my most like hateful lover I have ever met in my entire life. Like, I think she hate watches my content. Like, legitimately, she just watches and goes, "Oh, I hate that guy." All right, press play. Oh, I hate that guy so much. Pause. Like, oh, I can't stand him. All right, press play. Like, she's an anomaly. So she used to be like my biggest fan, and now she's like my biggest hate watcher. You ever hate watch content? I've done it. Everyone's done it. And so that's why I'm calling her out, because I still love her. I think she's the best thing that's ever happened to me. She comments nasty things on every post. She's like, and you're an idiot, and you don't research, and you're a moron, and you're a monkey. And I'm like, tell me more. I love you. You're just like, I scroll down sometimes. I look for her comments because I'm like, why didn't Tug Simp comment on this one? I guess she's not hating me so much. I swear to you, it is 100% the truth. 100%. Because it's these people who are just like, they have like this vitriol just pouring out of them because they used to like you, but you did something they didn't like, and now they hate you, but they still love you in the past, and but they hate you now, and they can't admit it. So like they hate love you, and they love hate you. It's really crazy. It's like Lynette. Yes, it's like Jeremy and Lynette. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. You gotta love a toxic relationship, right? Brooke Palmer, welcome to the channel. Thank you for joining on as a member. Hey, babe. Somebody suggested that there's a plot twist. Tug Simp is your alter account.
Me?
Yeah. She says I got caught. Oh, AJ, Alan Jackson had a family commitment. Okay, okay. I despise Larry. I hate him with all of my soul. Subscribe. I need to see everything this idiot is doing from now on so I can catch him in all his stupidity.
And then they'll like secretly laugh, like, oh, that was actually a good joke. But I hate him.
I hate him. I hate him so much. Oh, that was funny. Why am I laughing? I hate this guy. Oh my god. The juvenile that is testifying today, I think, is JM. Chili is going to be out in September. Juror number 13. Unless he gets not paroled. What is it called? Shocked out. If he gets shock probation, then he'll be out. Otherwise, he's going to be in there for a while. All right, so let's finish reading. So the base questions are where Bev ended it. The camera pulled back and Lally had his hand in his hands on the table. I don't think that's exactly true, but I think everybody saw what we saw. There was a sidebar. A few seconds after the approach, Bev called Karen up to participate. At one point, the press gallery leaned in on something and 3 or 4 dropped their mouths open. When Karen returned to her table, she was smiling. Lally looked dead inside. At one point, the press gallery leaned in on something and 3 or 4 of them dropped their mouths. I wonder what that was about. I like the work you do, but I'll criticize your numerology BS all day long. If you criticize, have a reason. Oh, fair enough. Yeah, definitely. I absolutely agree. Thank you for your input, Torched. I love that. Aiden tweeted that Proctor is not going to test. That's not possible. That's not possible. Proctor is the lead investigator of this whole thing. How do you not have the lead investigator? No, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I do not believe it. That's not possible. That's not possible. He was on the witness list. How can you possibly not have your... It's basically like, look, you have a DUI arrest, okay? You have a DUI arrest, and you have 5 officers involved. The lead officer, the one that does the field sobriety tests, and the walk and turn, the one-leg stand, the horizontal gaze and nystagmus. He also did the modified Romberg. He did all the tests, and everyone's going to testify around him except the lead officer who wrote the report, did the tests, is on video, asked for the breath sample, and that person is not going to testify. What? Hi, baby. You want to come join me? Come on. She wants some attention. Ah, there we go. Hi, baby. Hi, baby. I miss my baby. I miss my baby. Hi. Hi, Cindy. You want to say hi to the camera? You want to say hi? She's saying hi. Hi. Someone is trolling us. Who is trolling us? Andrew Moore? Okay. I'm going to put you in timeout then. Thank you. Oh, good morning, Meadows. She decided to join me. She's on my lap. You guys can't see. I need like a second kitty cam or something. Well, technically, hold on a second. I can do this. What am I thinking? All right, here we go. I'm gonna invite, copy, send, compose to. Oh, send. Okay, there we go. Email, refresh. Hi, Vinny. Oh my goodness, you are lovable this morning, aren't you? You are so lovable. Yes, you are. I'll have to turn off the microphone on this one, though. Otherwise, you guys are going to hear an echo. You guys are going to hear an echo. Here we go. Ooh. Wait a second. Oh, shoot. There we go. All right. That should work. Now I can add to the stage. Hi. Hi, Cindy. Oh, look at her. She's so happy. Why didn't I think of this before? God, I'm so silly. Hi, Cindy. Hi, baby. Oh, there she goes. There she goes. Oh, this is how she lays sometimes. She just lays like this. Wait. There we go. This one. And I will literally like stream for like hours sometimes. And she'll just lay here like this. Or like I'll be playing a game or something. Something relaxing, you know, like nothing too intense. And she'll just be laying like this. She's the best kitty. Look at her paws. Look at her just kneading, making biscuits. She's so happy to have Daddy back home. Right now, folks, for those of you maybe just joining us, we are Yes, there's an echo because the stream on this part is I can't turn it off. I have to literally wait. Yes, I can. Maybe I can. Hold on. I have an idea. You're right. There is an echo. I can remove the echo by doing yes. Boom. That should take care of the echo. Because now I plugged in headphones and they're in the phone. It's the Kitten Reed trial. Yeah, so for those of you just joining us, what I started to say, there is a juvenile testifying right now. And the juvenile that is testifying is on the stand as we speak. The jury is listening to the testimony. There is going to be no footage because they are under the age of 18 and they do not want to broadcast that to the world just to reveal the identity of this juvenile, as is very common in not just juvenile court, but sometimes probate court and mental incompetency court. And so, or mental inquest, we call it mental inquest court. And so that's what we're waiting on. So we're just enjoying a little bit of kitty time. There will be a transcript. That's a great question, Tom. There will be a transcript. And after the case is over, we're going to get our hands on the transcript and go through all the sidebars. Now, the question, that's a good question, EP True. Like, why would Lally put kids on in the first place? I guess they have something to give. That Kitty's name is Zinnia. Zinna. Oh, see? She recognized her name. Or sorry, like the flower. Zinnia. I apologize. Zinnia. She is gonna turn 3 in August. I got her in 2022 in July. Our adoption date is 7/7 at 7 p.m. Believe it or not. I adopted her on July 7th at 7 p.m. I waited like 3 weeks because the handler got COVID and she said, "Are you available?" And I said, "Sure." And she's like, "When?" I said, "I don't know. You tell me." Okay. All right. You know what? Andrew, you've annoyed me enough. Thank you. Bye-bye. If you're going to troll in my chat, don't be an asshole. She is 3. She's going to be 3 in August. I banned him, Matrix. I banned Andrew more. Now we're getting it from the other angle. $1 million. Catflix. You guys should see her when she's got the zoomies. Oh, she saw the cord. No, no, no. Don't get distracted, Zinni. Don't get distracted by the cord. It's just to keep the echo away, baby. Are your cats watching my cat on the TV? Is that for real? Oh, by the way, you can see my setup. Some inception for you all. This is my setup. It's very basic. It's very rudimentary. I got the microphone over there. I got my rubber dildo in the background. No, I'm just kidding. There's my breakfast that I haven't touched yet. She's always beelining. She wants to smell the juice. She's like, what is that? There's some light. I got my gaming headphones. You guys remember that one interview that one lady did, and she had like a rubber vibrator or dildo or something on like on her shelf? That was so funny. My kitty Cookie was trying to lick my screen. Is it because there's a cat on there? Oops. Dropped my phone. I'm in the wrong chat. She was adopted from, she's a rescue. It's a very weird angle. Let me see if I can auto rotate maybe. Yes. There we go. Now we get full-blown kitty. I'm so kitty. Oh, so kitty. I am kitty and pretty and purr. Oh, so kitty. I never want to leave my fur. She's such a daddy's girl. Aerosmith in September, is that Louder Than Life that you are referring to? She's sliding. There we go. Have I ever done a case in Crittenden County? I believe so, actually. It's a very small county, if I remember correctly. Crittenden County is like tiny. I may have done one. Why do you ask? She's my favorite. She's the best. I basically raised her from a kitten. She was less than a year when I got her. 11 months. Oh, at the KFC Yum Center with the Black Crows? No, I probably won't go to that. I think everybody would rather watch the kitty than hear Lally speak. Oh my goodness. Is the kitty very calming? I only have one cat. I am coming to Norway in August. No, Denmark, not Norway. Good morning, Kitty from Marietta, California. Hashtag justice for Kitty. Kitty's rest. We're on break right now as a juvenile is testifying. The juvenile is currently testifying in front of the jury. The jury is listening to testimony, but it is not being broadcast because they are a juvenile. Fill me in on more Brian Higgins stuff from Friday. I'm very curious. I got the highlight. The highlight was that he threw the SIM card in one dumpster and the phone in another dumpster. Wait, seriously, Widget? What the hell's filed? Lynette's lawyer filed a motion to withdraw? In in the Florida district court case, not the federal case. Jackson went to town on Higgins and didn't even buy him dinner first. You clipped the kitty song? Oh my god, that's hilarious. No way. I'm so kitty. Oh, so kitty. I am kitty and pretty and purr. Oh, so kitty. I never want to leave my fur. I'm so kitty. Oh my god, I have no singing voice. You guys are right. Listening to myself is just terrifying. I emailed you my first meme I've ever made. Thank you, Benny Boy. And Matrix says, admitting seeing a tall man with dark hair enter the house, but didn't know who he was. Are you serious? Brian Higgins admitted that he saw a man enter the house and he didn't know who he was? Wow. Wow, bro. Wow, bro. He may have. He admitted he may have. Hmm. I still have, by the way, court running in the background. So there's definitely no court yet. So I would see it the minute something happens. I think we have at least 3 juveniles. He admitted to breaking federal law by using federal resources for personal gain, says Lady Tammy. That's crazy. That's just so crazy. Do we know how old a juvenile is, by the way? I don't know the answer to that. I actually do not know the answer to that. I do not know the answer to that. Maybe somebody else in the chat knows. And no, the boy is 16. That's what Alan said. Adventurous Words says he admitted he didn't know what Colin looked like, that he found Karen as hot, threw himself and a friend under the bus for federal crimes. Threw himself and a friend under the bus for federal crimes. What does that mean? What does it mean that he threw himself and a friend under the bus for federal crimes? What does that mean? Can you explain? For using the FBI machine to extract his emails. He threw Matt Kelch under the bus for tampering with his phone during the extraction. And he admitted to drinking and driving. He and his friend used federal machinery to download his texts. I see. Brian Nagel came into the house. Brian Nagel? I thought he just. Wait a second. I thought Brian Nagel came and left. They all testified. They just showed up and they left. Is that wrong? Higgins needs to be taken off the force completely. He doesn't deserve a badge. In my humble opinion. No, Kitty is leaving. Kitty is leaving us. Let me see if I can do this. There we go. Now we have a kitty cam. What is Aiden saying, I wonder? We were just told that we're not allowed to live report or use computers or phones while the minors are testifying. That's fair. Other reporters believe they are interpreting the order incorrectly, as this seems as a huge First Amendment violation. We are allowed to take notes, pen to paper only. I mean, These kids know nothing about how he died. It's disgraceful calling them just to attempt a character assassination. Oh, this is interesting. Let's take a look at this. I hope Unity does not do a cross unless absolutely necessary. It's disgusting why the Commonwealth would do this. The kids have no bearing on the trial. The secret courts of Massachusetts. Well, this one I disagree with. I mean, juveniles need to be protected. In other cases I've watched, the public can still hear the testimony. They just don't show the minor's face on video. What makes this case so different? Actually, that's a really good point. I really like that. Back to old school reporting, pre-internet. Here, I'll enlarge the kitty so you guys can see better. Bev is a famous stomper of our constitutional rights. Yes, she is. Yes, she is. It's minors. I hope kids would be protected also, especially since some people are harassing witnesses, dragging kids through the mud. It's disgusting. That's wild. Usually they allow the audio of juveniles testifying. What does DOI Kitty have to say about this? And she says, DOI Kitty is asserting her Fifth Amendment privilege not to test a meow. I have hair. I have cat hair on my screen. I hope you guys don't mind if I eat. I am very hungry, and I have not. This is my breakfast. I've not had breakfast yet. I've just been sipping on orange juice. I'll mute the microphone, of course. I'm hoping they'll resume testimony soon. I was hoping to like eat during the testimony. I don't want to just sit here with the mic muted and call Katie for the sidebar. That'd be funny. I got some huevos rancheros. Oops. Your Honor, I object. This testimony is a catastrophe. Is somebody committing perjury? Has DUI Kitty committed any crimes like felony murder? Feline murder? Somebody call the police. You're a person of interest. Yana, the feline rests. I like that a lot. I'm watching Aiden's updates, by the way, to see how long the juvenile is going to be on the stand. So far, nothing. Court TV just said they were going to hear testimony from 2 children that were that were in the O'Keefe's household. By the way, can I just say for a minute, you guys? You're the best chat on the internet. Can I just say that? I don't know how this happened. Like, we have almost 5,000 people watching here. You guys are literally the best chat on the internet. I have the best chat. People always tell me this, and at first I'm like, yeah. But then I visited other people's chats, and I'm like, yeah, some of these chats can be like really nasty, and there's a lot of like streamers that have like they police their chat like extremely, and their mods are weird, and there's a lot of like bad vibes, and we have like the best chat on YouTube. I have not found a better chat than us. I'm not joking. I'm being dead serious. I'm being dead grab ass. Like, I don't know how this happened. I have no idea how this happened. People were literally messaging me like, I didn't watch the trial Wednesday and Friday because you weren't streaming it. And I'm like, I don't get a quarter of the numbers that some of these other streamers get, but I guess it's quantity versus quality. We have the quality. You guys, that's you. That's literally you on the other end of this lens. You are the quality that is bringing life to this chat. It's insane. I never in a million years, like, because, you know, YouTube you think is a numbers game, but it's really not. It's about quality. Brandon Reed says good vibes attract good vibes. I'll take it. Oh, stop it. You're going to make me blush now. I'm an interesting narrator. Speaking of narration, Chandler told me today that my Curious George series is like phenomenal and she really enjoyed it. If you guys haven't seen it, I have a playlist where I read Curious George. It's not for kids. There's a lot of swearing. Shauna Everett, thank you for becoming a member. You got style. I'll take it. Okay. Kitty is dreaming of being the first kitty to be duped. Oh my god, that's hilarious. What's for breakfast? Huevos rancheros. You guys, this sauce is amazing. We have this place here in town, in Louisville. It's called Con Huevos. It's so good. Oh yeah, it's Chandler's birthday. For those of you just joining us, happy birthday! Happy birthday! Happy birthday! Conga Lina. Babe? Are you sleeping? Are you sleeping? What? Oh. You're welcome. Oh, damn, I woke Kitty up. Kitty has left the premises. Hi, baby. And Kitty has returned. She's sniffing the phone. No, Zinnia. Not right now. Not right now. I'm eating. Con huevos is Spanish for with eggs. They have a lot of dishes that involve eggs in them. Con huevos, with eggs. You want a bite? Somebody said that they're hungry. Here, I give you a bite. Oh, that's a good question. This is about one of my old cases. Whatever happened to that case where the judge argued she had jurisdiction and you argued she didn't? I saw some shorts, but not her outcome. Not the outcome. So Those shorts are from February and March 2020. The case ended up going to trial in 2022 in front of a different judge. It's on my YouTube channel. It's the Car versus House playlist. Really fascinating trial. It is one of the craziest trials I've ever won in my life. The guy blew a .098 on the breathalyzer. I mean, they had him dead to rights. He crashed into a house. He wrecked his car. He ended up in the bushes. I mean, dead to rights. It should have been a guilty, I thought. I found a way to beat it. 6 men and women voted not guilty. True story. We won that case. The prosecutor, you should have seen the prosecutor's face when he saw that we lost, that we won and he lost. No, .098. 0.098. So above the legal limit. Oh, that's a slash, but you get it. 0.098. 0.08 is the limit, and he was 0.098. Anyway, we went to trial. We went to trial after the judge read the verdict, not guilty. The prosecutor had like the biggest nervous smile on his face. I'll never forget it. He wasn't shocked. Maybe he was. I don't know. It was Jim Higgins was the prosecutor. I love Jim. Jim is a good people. He's a good prosecutor. I like Jim a lot. Jim Higgins. He's a prosecutor here in Jefferson County, in Kentucky. He just had like the biggest like, I can't believe I just lost, like look on his face when it happened. And I had the, oh my God, did I just win? Look on my face. So that was that case, Marcus. I did not make the huevos rancheros. I got them at con huevos. Your thoughts on Judge Bev when defenses does a motion for acquittal after prosecution rests? They're going to lose 100%. 100% TD98, they're going to lose. You always lose your motion for directed verdict. I've seen out of 10,000 jury trials, I have seen one motion for directed verdict actually get granted. One time. And I was in the room when it happened. Why is it so blurry? Turtle Boy posted a video that is allegedly shows Colin Albert fighting in the locker room. I did see that. So he lied that he's never been in a fight. By the way, just so you all can see, I'm still waiting on Law and Crime. Let me refresh. No, we got nothing. It's been an hour and like 20 minutes of nothing. There are 2 videos of him fighting now. Interesting. By the way, what do you all think of the new profile picture? I changed my old stoic, slick gelled hair back photo on all my platforms. What do you guys think of the new profile photo? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Do you not care? I'm curious. Looks better. Honestly, Lady Tammy says I don't really like it. Why not? Change the background. So I thought about that, changing the background to a solid color. It's from when I met Johnny Depp. That's the photo. You can't see him because he's out of frame. Johnny Depp is to my immediate left, your right. My left, camera right. That's why I'm smiling like a lunatic. Exactly. I might change it again. I don't know. That was like, I just wanted to change it from the old archaic, photo that I had. I just got tired of it. It's not me anymore, That's the old me. I wanted to show I'm friendly, come say hi, blah, blah, blah. Thank you, TD89, for your support of the channel. Very much appreciate you. Arcane, I'm reading your messages. I'm just choosing to ignore it. So posting it every 10 seconds in anticipation that I may respond suddenly, you're wasting your time. No problem. I'm just giving you a heads up. I read your message. I saw it like 3 times. I'm actively choosing to ignore it. Do we have any mods in the channel right now? Do we not have a single mod here? Did I practice what I was going to say? A little bit, Kyle. Have I seen or had any clients get 20 years for a 50 DUI in Kentucky? 20 years? A DUI fourth, there is no fifth. A fourth would be a subsequent fourth, and then a subsequent fourth, and then a subsequent fourth. Statutorily, the maximum on it is 5 years, unless it's your fifth, in which case it could be up to 10 years, unless there are other charges like assault, first degree, which could land you 20 years, or wanton endangerments that could stack or something like that. Today is a modless day. Matrix, I'm gonna make you a mod. You're like always here. Say hello to your new mod, Matrix. And Adventurous Words, you've been with us quite a lot. So yeah, sure, why not? Adventurous Words, you're a mod as well now. We have 2 new mods, Matrix and Adventurous Words. Say hello to your new mods. Adventurous Words and Matrix. You're welcome. If I don't recognize your name and you're asking to be a mod, chances are I won't grant it. No offense. If you're a brand new face especially, I need to get to know you a little bit first. These are not just privileges that I hand out. Sorry if I made you all hungry. Let me check something real quick. Customization. No, it's not here. It's in settings, I think. Community. There it is. There it is. Yeah, our usual suspects are not here today. Where did I put that spell book? Wait, where's my chapstick? I was applying it earlier. Where did it go? I literally applied it on stream. DY Kitty, did you steal it? What the hell? Where'd it go? Where's my chapstick? Oh wow, that is so weird. Yeah, I'm checking the floor. Did it roll under here? Oh, it's literally standing behind my cup. Yeah, I checked my pockets. I found it. It was upright, standing behind my cup. Turtle Boy won't be streaming today because he's in court. Let's see if he's got anything to say, by the way. Sometimes I'm alone, sometimes I'm not, sometimes I'm alone. Hello, sometimes I'm alone, sometimes I'm not, sometimes I'm alone. Only 2 biscuits are left in my plate. It's a matter of time until I meet my fate. They're not taking so long to get back, folks. There's a juvenile on the stand testifying. Thank you, D. Roseberry, for supporting the channel. Mama Smith says, I heard the boy is already done. I don't know where you heard that from. Let's check on Ted. Maybe Ted Daniel. Nope, same thing. There's a directive. Today is a full day. Oh, by the way, actually, I have an idea. Hey, Chandler, do you want to do our Dead End song? Okay. We wrote a song for Deadham. And we'll sing it to you all on Chandler's birthday. No, it's early for lunch. Lunch won't happen for another hour and a half. Lunch doesn't happen until 1. The lunch break is from 1 to 2. Oh, this is good. This is good stuff. Let me show you guys. Can I zoom in? Yes, beautiful. Commonwealth witness list. Do you see this? This is the Commonwealth's witness list. Trooper Michael Proctor is listed as #1 as police officer. So don't tell me he's on the defense witness list. He's on the prosecution witness list. Yes, I work in the building where the happy birthday song was actually written. Isn't that crazy? Out of all the buildings in the whole universe, of all the planet, anywhere in the world, it could have been any building. I bought the building where the happy birthday song was frickin' written in. How insane is that? Andrea, I still can't, like, it's one of those things like you can't fully wrap your head around. It's like the birthday song, the happy birthday to, you know, the one that's been translated to like 170 languages. That's the building I work in. Back then, it was obviously an apartment building. Isn't that cool? It's kind of wild. All right. So how many more on the prosecution's witness list? So we had 88 minus 38 minus 39. Wait. There were 88 total, right? 88 total, 38 testified, including Jen McCabe. And then Carrie and Brian, and now the child. So 47 more prosecution witnesses. We're almost at the halfway point. All right, so let's see. So this is the Commonwealth's witness list. Police officers, we got Proctor. Bukaki hasn't testified yet. Yuri Bushenik. I mean, he's Ukrainian. He's either Ukrainian or Russian. You can tell by the name. So I can't hate on the guy too much. You know, I can't. Or Bushenik. I'm sorry, Buchenik. The literal pronunciation is Yuri Buchenik, probably. Yuri Buchenik. The reason it's so hard to pronounce is Americans don't have the soft syllable that we do in Russian and Ukrainian. So that's why it's easier to say Yuri Bukaki rather than, or Yuri Buchenik or something, where in reality it's actually Yuri Buchenik. We got a bunch of troopers: Connor, Keefe, Clark, Moore. We have like 23 cops. Only like 5 of them have testified so far. Civilian witnesses, so Heather Maxson, Anthony Clemetti. You know, we have a lot of these people. Now, the doctors haven't testified yet. Chief medical examiners, obviously, those are still, I don't know why they're listed under civilian. They're actually, I mean, they are civilians, I guess, but they're medical. A lot of these have already testified. Good Samaritan Medical Center, personnel, UC Davis Vet Lab. So Terry Kuhn, she's the one that testified out of order, number 56. So in total, we have 87. I thought it was 88. I apologize. And the juveniles, let me show you. Yeah, juvenile with initials at PF, juveniles with initial KF. And I thought there was a third one. There may only be 2. I may have gotten that wrong. So KF and PF. So 2 juveniles that we have to push through. And then the defendant's witness list is completely blank. Oh, I'm sorry. There it is. The resolves the right to call the witnesses included in the Commonwealth's witness list. Oh. They pretty much listed all of them. Expert witnesses. Daniel Wolf and Drew. Interesting. They did not list any witnesses. The defense witness list. I'm guessing this is common. You don't want to reveal your strategy. The defendant's witness list is completely blank. Lunch will happen in 1 hour and 30 minutes. All right. This is taking a very long time. I mean, it's logical, I suppose, but like it's been an hour and 45 minutes. I hope both juveniles are testifying, if nothing else, at least. You know what I mean? Yep. For those of you just joining us, by the way, we are currently hiring. We are currently hiring a second case manager. So if you're looking for work, it is not remote. It is on site. Case manager on-site position. Catherine Latimer, thank you so much for joining on as a member. Well, I am selling my firm, but of course you have to continue building. Until it's sold, I'm going to continue building. Some people were saying, like, you're not going to try as hard now that you're selling. To the contrary, I'm going to continue building. What if I never find a buyer? Then what happens? If I never find a buyer, then I'll just continue growing. If I sell, the DUI guy name does not come with it unless you want to buy the brand. It's 15 million without the DUI guy brand. It's 100 million if you want the DUI guy brand. Yes, I'm selling so I can buy storage units with Jeremy. That's funny. Although, who knows? That might be fun. Should never judge. Turtle Boys live? They must be on break or something.
Hi, how you doing? Hi, nice to meet you. Pleasure. Nice crowd out here.
Yeah.
Beautiful day, huh?
Beautiful day for this.
Beautiful day.
On YouTube?
On YouTube, yeah. Oh, it's going okay? Okay, all right. So, and nobody here knows what happened in the courtroom?
No.
Okay, all right, cool. Yeah, so we're going to talk about it right now. All right, guys, listen. So here's the deal. Obviously, they told us we can't like live tweet or anything like that in the courtroom, so we had to take notes the old-fashioned way.
Right.
So for both kids when they testified.
Oh, both
kids
juveniles testified.
The boy went first, and I'm just going to read my notes here, okay?
Okay.
So first thing, for Lally's, what you doing his usual nonsense, wasting time asking stupid questions like, what's your favorite sport? What's your favorite subject? Wasting time like that. He asked the boy if Karen was took care of them. He said yes. That the relationship was sometimes tough and sometimes good between Karen and John. That there were disagreements and yelling that happened, quote unquote, frequently, more towards the end. He says that she was, quote, nice most of the time to them. Lally asks if there were not so nice times between John and Karen, to which the defense objected and led to a sidebar because that's a stupid question. And he said that there was a few times that he got in trouble and yelled at by Karen, but he said that when she got mad at him for taking a long time to eat food. So this is the stupid conversation that's going on in there right now, and that she would ignore them and kind of like go away and just like when she was mad at them. He doesn't recall if the fights led to her leaving the house. He said that the Aruba arguments were nothing crazy, that when he came back to Meadows Ave, everyone looked down and sad, and that Paul informed him what happened because he did not sleep in the house that night. He says that Karen looked sad and was crying at the kitchen table, and there were a couple others. He said that there was a computer upstairs because they always talk about this computer and insinuate she deleted ring camera footage, that there was a computer upstairs in the office, and that he doesn't remember if the defendant had an account. They called her the defendant, which is pretty gross. Both kids were coached to call her the defendant. And
yeah, coached is right.
He doesn't remember if she had an account. So if she doesn't have an account, then she couldn't have deleted the ring camera footage as these idiots like to suggest she did. They said that Lally asks if the phone was connected to the vehicle. He started asking stupid questions about the center console. The highlight was this. David Unetti on cross-examination asked her one question. Did John or Karen ever raise a hand in anger towards each other? He said no. And then he said, quote, I'm sorry that you were made to come here today. And the prosecution immediately objected to that, but it was pretty powerful. A lot of people were like, wow. He said, I'm sorry that you were made to come here today. Now, the girl went next after that. She testified for longer. The usual nonsense about what's your favorite subject, how long you've been living with your grandparents. She said they met in 2020 for the first time. She definitely was a worse witness for Karen than the brother. She says that her relationship was with Karen Reed was, quote, dependent on the day, and that she was closer with the brother than she was with her. She says that it was good at the beginning, but it was, quote unquote, toxicity towards the end. He says that she also refers to Karen as the defendant. She said that John will walk away from fights, but that Karen will, quote, follow him and keep yelling like normal people, like welcome to relationships, I guess.
Like Amber Heard
she
type.
says that
She was coached.
Karen would defend the brother during arguments and not her. She said that she was closer with John and the brother was closer with Karen. It was weird. And that during the Aruba trip that they argued in front of her about the smooching with Marietta situation, and they says that let's see, that he asked Karen to leave the house one night, and Karen said no, and that John said the relationship will run its course, and then locked himself in his room for 34 minutes, and Karen didn't leave. So, you know, welcome to relationships. He says that Karen was wanted to know if she knew when Ring cameras were installed, and he said that John had access to it and offered the kids access to it and Karen access to it, and they all said no. So both kids testified that Karen does not have access to that Ring camera video. He says that Karen woke her up at 4:30 and told her to call Jen McCabe that morning, and that Jen McCabe had texted her in the past because she was her coach. That Karen was saying, and this is interesting. She said that Karen was saying, "What could have happened? And maybe I did something. Maybe a snowplow hit him. Maybe I hit him. Did I hit him?" We're gonna get to that 1 second. Lally asks if the vehicle has a backup camera, like, duh. And she said the defendant. This is the kid says this. The defendant was a lot more like, just like, very like. She seemed like she was on meds and wasn't sitting still, and almost shaky that morning, like somebody had just died or something. When Jen was talking, she said that Jen was calm, so, and didn't get worked up, and told her that John probably went to someone else's house. That's what she told this girl. She knew exactly where John was, dying on that lawn, and she told her that John probably was sleeping at someone else's house. This is at 5:30 in the morning when they went back there. That later on, when Karen came back, she was only at the house for a short period of time and went upstairs by herself. They frequently bring this up, and it's like, that's when she deleted the Ring camera footage. But both kids testified she didn't have access to that. She said that she gave gave the kid a hug and said, "I feel like I'm living in a nightmare," and left. She said that Yannetti asked her if she said, "Maybe I hit him," and she says she was interviewed on 2/22/22 and never mentioned maybe I hit him. So that she was interviewed at the DA's office and never mentioned anything about maybe I hit him. It was like, this is a new thing that she has recently added to this, and that she had quite a bit of contact with Jen McCabe in the last couple of weeks, and that never once did either of them raise a hand in anger, and that's that. So that's what happened today.
Interesting. Very
we are
interesting.
gonna get back in there for the rest of the testimony, but obviously we weren't allowed to live tweet anything, so just wanted to report that. I'm gonna post this in a series of tweets, and that's that. All right.
That's literally how I did Johnny Depp. He's doing like I did Johnny
No
Depp.
problem.
That's so cool. Thank you, Turtle Boy. Man, that was awesome. That was really good. Thank you to the one of my followers who said Turtle Boy is live. And I'm so glad that we caught it. I am so glad that we caught it. So what have we learned? We learned that the relationship was, quote unquote, according to at least one of the kids, was going south towards the end. That sounds so coached. Defendant, calling her the defendant? No child knows the word defendant unless you teach them that. No child knows, oh, the defendant. They call her Karen or Auntie Reed or Auntie Karen or I don't know. So the kids were coached. Interesting. Very interesting. Extremely sus. Very suspicious. By the way, I'm trying to get another seat in the House. I hope to be in court in 2 weeks. I'll be flying back to Massachusetts, probably by myself. Probably by myself. Chandler is going to stay behind, and I'm going to go back into that courtroom. So the kids, the 2 juveniles are done. They're probably on break right now, and court will resume in about, I would say, 15, 20 minutes. So don't go anywhere. I think we're finally going to be back on schedule, folks. Excuse me. Um, Turtle Boy said 10 minutes. Oh, thank you. I kind of missed that. So less than 10 minutes, we'll be back in court. Very exciting. What's my favorite style of music? Electronic dance music, EDM. Who is next to testify? That's a great question. The other half of Canton. That's who. The 2 youths are done testifying. That is correct, Erler02. The 2 youths. So much brainwashing going on, I swear. I hate Jen McCabe with so much passion. And the daughter also confirmed she's been in frequent contact with the McCabe's in the last 3 weeks. I forgot about that. That was very important. Jennifer McCabe is just a bad all-around human. I agree. Ashley Linnell says, there's no way I would have put the kids on the stand. Why trauma? Prove your case, prosecution. I have 2 kids. This makes me so angry. So angry. I agree with you. I'm going to be right back. All right. What are we gonna do now, folks? What are we gonna do now, huh? Still waiting on the live stream. Oh, Court's back. Court is back.
Thank you. Maybe see you.
There we go. Wow. Talk about perfect timing.
All right, Mr. Lally, your next witness, please.
Yes, Your Honor, the Commonwealth to call Dr. Justin Rice to the stand.
Oh, expert witnesses. Here we go. Finally, some action.
Step right up, just watch, step for me. Yep. May you stand and face the clerk.
Raise your right hand. You solemnly swear the underscript of the court and jury of the case now here is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God. I do. Thank you. Take the stick.
All right, Mr. Lally, whenever you're ready.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon, sir.
Hi.
Could you please state your name and spell your last name for the jury?
My name is Justin Rice, R-I-C-E. Is that what you asked me to spell?
And sir, that microphone in front of you, however you want to position that, it's flexible, so.
Too far away. Is that better?
That's perfect, thank you. And what do you do for work, sir?
I'm an emergency medicine physician.
And how long have you been doing that?
I finished my residency in 2008, so I've been attending since 2008.
And where is it that you work now?
Good Samaritan.
My current employer is South Shore Health.
He used to work
And
at
how
Good
long have you
Samaritan.
been working for South Shore Health?
I started there in October of this past year, 2023.
And where did you work prior to that?
Before that, I had been full-time at Good Samaritan Hospital in Brockton.
Bingo.
And how long was it that you worked at Good Samaritan?
Let's see. I started at Good Samaritan in 2010.
Now, sir, if I could, I'd like to just talk a little bit about your educational background. Where did you go to school as far as your undergrad was concerned?
I went to undergraduate at the College of William and Mary in Williamsburg, Virginia.
And what, if any, degrees did you graduate from there?
I obtained a Bachelor's of Science in Chemistry.
And following your graduation from there, where did you go to school after that?
So after that, I attended University of Virginia for medical school. Is that what you asked me? I'm sorry.
And following your graduation from medical school, where did you go after that?
Then I did a emergency medicine residency in Philadelphia at University of Pennsylvania.
And what is a residency, sir?
So residency is there's several years of training that's where doctors will specialize. For me in emergency medicine, some people choose to be surgeons, pediatricians. That's when more of the specialization, if you will, happens in medicine, medical training.
And how long was your residency?
It was 4 years.
And following your residency, where did you go from there?
So I, in 2008, finished residency. I worked for 2 years in Manassas, Virginia at Prince William Hospital for 2 years.
And are you board certified?
I am by American Board of Emergency Medicine, yes.
And what is it that you're board certified in?
Specifically emergency medicine.
And when you use that term as far as board certification is concerned, what goes into that? What does that entail?
So when I obtained board certification, it was a two-step process where there was a written exam administered at one of the testing centers. And after you pass that, then there's an in-person oral exam, I guess is what they're called. And that's where you've given like didactic or individual cases. Assuming you pass that, then you're board certified.
And your board certification is up to date currently?
Yes.
Now, with reference to the time that you worked at Good Samaritan, as far as the emergency department is concerned, can you describe to the jury sort of what does the emergency department at Good Samaritan look like as far as staff, bedding, sort of layout, like describe that to the jury?
Sure. So at the time and currently, there's 36 treatment rooms in the main ER. A lot of hallway stretchers as well. There's also an express care kind of area, but for the purposes of this conversation, 36 beds in the main ER. Staffing wise, there'd be anywhere between 4 to 5 and 12 nurses. And for the purposes of this discussion, it would have been 2 docs on and probably 1 either nurse practitioner or physician assistant in the morning.
And as far as the morning, what I'm going to turn your attention to is the morning of January 29th, 2022. Were you working at the Good Samaritan on that day?
If that's the morning of this incident, then yes. Yeah.
And is there a particular shift or what kind of hours would you be working around that time at Good Samaritan?
I'm pretty sure I started my shift at 6 a.m. that day. There was a 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. It was either 2 or 3 to, excuse me. It's either 6 to 2 or 6 to 3 p.m., but the shift would have started at 6 a.m. as I recall.
And on that date at Good Samaritan, do you recall becoming involved with a treatment of a patient by the name of John O'Keefe?
Yes.
And Your Honor, may I approach the witness?
Yes.
I'm showing you a document. If you could just take a look at that and look up on your
You want me to look through each page or just acknowledge that?
Just as far as, do you recognize what that document is?
Yes, of course.
And what do you recognize that to be?
So it looks like is a transcription or a copy of the medical chart that I would have produced or dictated. And on the front page is also a, it's called like a code sheet, which the nurses would have put together and I would have signed off on, detailing what resuscitative efforts, as in the specific details and timing of the resuscitative efforts that were performed on Mr. O'Keefe's behalf.
Thanks. Your Honor, with the court's permission, may the witness hold on to that during the course of his testimony?
Yes.
And Your Honor, what I would seek to introduce in a minute as the next exhibit would be a redacted copy of those same records.
Okay. Is there any objection?
Your Honor, if we could just review those. Your Honor, if we could approach.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Another sidebar. So why are these all lip smackers? Can somebody please explain to me why every single one of these people, witness, civilian, police officer, rando, doctor, why are they all what's up, Doc? Like, seriously, are you all imitating Bugs Bunny? Liza Little is going to be on the cross. That's exactly right, folks. Is it a Boston thing? Like, is it nerves? I don't know. I don't have an answer. It's really annoying and really frustrating and really distracting from the testimony. That's my own personal opinion. Feel free to disagree. Kirsty says it's very annoying to listen to.
Here you go, doctor. This is for you.
Thanks.
That's for identification. Okay, thank you. And Mr. Lally, I'll let you hold on to what's been marked SS for identification.
Now, Dr. Rice, with regard to Mr. O'Keefe, about what time did he come into your facility at Good Samaritan?
Would you like me to look at the chart here? Let's see.
If you can't remember things and you need to reference the chart, you can do that, doctor.
Okay, thanks. So it looks like, based on the code sheet, first line starting at 0647, so I'll say 6:47 a.m.
And as far as his presentation, Mr. O'Keefe's presentation, when he came into the emergency department, how would you describe his presentation upon his arrival?
So he would have been, well, he was unresponsive and intubated, as in with a breathing tube into his airway via his mouth.
And as he came into the emergency department, what, if anything, was fixed to him in regard to CPR or other resuscitative efforts?
So he would have had CPR in progress. And also someone would have been ventilating his lungs via the endotracheal tube.
Now, there's mention within that record as far as
Do you want to explain what that means for those of us who don't know what that means? Lally? Hello? Bueller? Anyone? Bueller? Anyone?
I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't understand what you're asking me.
So let me just
Oh,
ask you,
Lord.
familiar with the term cardiac arrest?
Yes.
Can you describe to the jury, based on your training and experience, what your understanding of that term is?
Sure. So as in he arrived with in cardiac arrest, which by definition means that his heart was not autonomously or independently pumping blood, or in his case, without electrical activity as well of the heart.
And are you familiar with another term called perfusion?
Yes.
And can you explain what perfusion is and how that relates to the condition of cardiac arrest?
Sure. So, for example, you and I right now, because our heart is autonomously, pumping blood, the heart is the pump and responsible for pushing blood throughout your body, therefore perfusing your body. In a scenario like this, where a patient is in cardiac arrest or asystole, or as in not having any electrical activity in his heart or mechanical activity of his heart, the perfusion that is happening is by CPR, as in the chest being pushed upon, indirectly is, you call it maybe indirectly pumping or moving blood flow. So there is perfusion, but in a significantly limited compared to someone not in cardiac arrest.
And as far as that perfusion process is concerned, what, if any, relation does that have to the organs within the body?
Well, so, if your perfusion is limited, then your organs are not getting the normal amount of blood flow and therefore oxygen and all the other nutrients that your blood's providing. So your organs will begin the process of failure.
You use the term in there as far as asystole. Could you explain to the jury what you understand that term to mean?
Sure. So asystole would be when you put the electrical leads on a patient's heart. The complete absence of intrinsic electrical activity from the heart would be asystole. So as in not having any observable or detectable electrical activity would be asystole.
Now, as far as these conditions, as far as cardiac arrest and asystole, what, if any, concerns does that raise from a diagnostic perspective in relation to Mr. O'Keefe?
You're not breathing.
I guess your question with respect to it from a diagnostic perspective, I don't know exactly what you're asking me there.
He can't even ask the proper question
Let me
properly.
rephrase that. So,
see,
with regard to those conditions that are observed and noted within the medical chart from Mr. O'Keefe that you have before you, how would that relate to his condition or sort of how he's presenting and what if anything you're doing treatment-wise?
Well, so even with good CPR, the perfusion of the brain, for example, and this is what I think about frequently during resuscitative efforts like this, as in, I couldn't tell you an exact time, but there's a certain, without perfusion of the brain for a certain amount of time, you're limited with respect to, well, the concern is that the patient, even if you resuscitate their body, that there's potentially going to be brain death or anoxia or lack of oxygen to the brain and a poor outcome with respect to neurological outcome.
And what is anoxia?
Now, as far as the resuscitative efforts
Lally
are
is
concerned,
asleep at the
is
wheel
there any
again.
sort of, standard sort of resuscitative protocols that would be undergone with someone who presents as Mr. O'Keefe did?
Yes.
And can you explain what those are?
So, in broad terms, there's ACLS, which is Advanced Cardiac Life Support. That's an algorithm that through medical training, I've learned and is frequently, the algorithm can be adjusted. There's also a TLS for trauma patients. So there's an algorithm there with respect to resuscitation or guidelines, I guess, with respect to resuscitation.
And within those sort of guidelines or protocols, are you familiar with a medication called epinephrine?
Yes.
And how would epinephrine play into sort of the treatment or the diagnosis of Mr. O'Keefe?
So, in the time that I've been practicing, epinephrine is probably the only medication or drug that has persistently been in the ACLS pathway. It's adrenaline. So the idea is loosely that you're attempting to affect upon the heart itself more squeeze, as in more pressure, and also to increase the potential, or if there is electrical activity, to increase the amplitude of that electrical function at the cellular level.
Now, in addition to the cardiac arrest,
What's
and
wrong with this guy?
systole,
Why is he
as far
so
as Mr.
weird?
O'Keefe was concerned, what, if any, presentation did he have related to hypothermia?
So I know his initial temperature was low. I'd have to look, but I can see here that the nursing wrote in their notes that his, I see T equals 80.1 R. So I interpret that to be his temperature was 80.1 degrees by rectal temperature.
And if you could explain to the jury sort of your understanding as far as hypothermia, what is it and how does that present itself?
So as it pertains to this case, there's a few ways to get hypothermic. If I at 12:20 were to have a cardiac arrest right now and stop perfusing, my current temperature my current temperature I'm guessing is 98.6, right? The normal temperature. Without perfusion, the body will lose, or excuse me, the core temperature will decrease over time. The specifics of that I couldn't, or beyond my knowledge and training, but does that answer your question?
Yes. And so as far as hypothermia is concerned, is there a certain sort of baseline or what is sort of the typical temperature under which someone would be declared sort of hypothermic or treated as?
I don't know if I could give you a definition of medically what a quote diagnosis of hypothermia. I couldn't tell you a number. I can tell you that 80 qualifies as hypothermia, but I couldn't tell you a number under which that definition applies.
But the temperature that Mr. O'Keefe presented with certainly fits within those parameters. Is that correct?
Yes, 80 degrees is very cold.
And as far as resuscitative efforts as they pertain to the core body temperature or the low core body temperature of Mr. O'Keefe, what, if anything, was done with relation to treatment of that?
Sure. So as the nursing note mentions, there's a bear hugger was applied. So that's a blanket that has warmed air being pumped through it. So that's a way of externally warming someone. He also, having reviewed the chart earlier, I don't see it right in front of you. Actually, I take that back. He had warm IV fluids running. So IV fluids not at room temperature, as in a warm or an oven of sorts, would have been given to him via intravenous or central venous access.
And as far as the body temperature is concerned, what if any relationship does the body temperature have and the warming process have as to a declaration of deceased in relation to Mr. O'Keefe?
Well, so there's a goal in resuscitative medicine to attempt to rewarm a body. Loosely, the idea being that the heart, among other organs, will function better or function at all in a warmer environment. That's one goal of resuscitation. With him, as I recall, despite resuscitative efforts for approximately half an hour, there was not a significant warming of his core temperature.
And so, sir, with reference to Mr. O'Keefe, at some point, was he pronounced deceased by yourself?
Yes.
And do you see any indication within the chart as to what time that was?
Sure. I'll just need this moment here. According to my note, it looks like the time of death was, death declaration was 7:50 in the morning.
Is that 50 or 15?
50.
Now, as far as the observations that you made as far as a systole and the cardiac arrest, did that persist throughout the course of your treatment of Mr. O'Keefe?
Yes.
Now, may I approach the witness?
Yes.
I may just see that document. direct your attention to what's the fourth page in, bottom of it says 2 of 4. And I direct your attention to the top of that page. Do you see that, sir?
Yes.
And as far as this is sort of a listing of observations or, well, let me ask you, can you describe what is listed at the top of that page there?
Sure. So this would have been the physical exam documentation of my note. So, with respect to the head, it says, excuse me, the first word is other, which I believe is a function of the computer system. As in, I typed in there right superior orbital ridge region, approximately 7 millimeter laceration, and then with surrounding soft tissue swelling / contusion.
So if I could just stop you there, as far as what you're talking about with the right superior orbital ridge region, could you explain to the jury or demonstrate to the jury?
Sure. So the orbital ridge is the bone above your eye that you can, like where your eyebrow is or should, would normally be.
And as far as the other sort of things that you noted over the course of your physical exam or review of Mr. O'Keefe, what, if anything else of note, did you observe?
Well, according to my note, the only other kind of observations other than would be that he had breath sounds present bilaterally. I observed that he was pulseless. His abdominal exam was atraumatic on my chart, and then extremity exam or musculoskeletal exam, I wrote that he had superficial abrasions on the right forearm.
And from a medical perspective, when you use that term abrasions, so can you explain to the jury what you understand the term abrasions to mean?
Yeah, I use it as a medical synonym for scratches, if you will.
And under neuro or neurological, there's a listing as far as a GC3, is that correct?
Yes.
And can you explain what that is and what that means?
So GC is what I charted. What I intended to write there was GCS, which is a Glasgow Coma Scale, which is a scoring system to identify someone's level of consciousness or unresponsiveness.
And as far as the 3, where does the scale start? Where does it go to, and where does the 3 fit in?
So there's 3 components: verbal function, motor function, and eye or ocular function. And someone who's completely unresponsive, as in no motor, no verbal, and no eye movement or function, completely unresponsive. The lowest you can get on the scale is 3.
Thank you, sir. May I approach just to retrieve?
Yes.
Now, later on over the course of that same morning, did you have occasion to become involved in the treatment of another patient by the name of Karen Reed?
Yes.
And may I approach the witness again, Your Honor?
Yes.
So I'm showing you another document, just ask you to look at that. To the extent you can recognize it and look up whenever you finish. In general, sir, do you recognize what that is?
Yes.
Or what do you recognize it?
The first part I recognized would have been the medical record or medical note with respect to Miss Reed, who was also a patient that morning.
Thank you. Your Honor, the Commonwealth seeks to introduce in the minutes the next exhibit, a redacted copy of those records.
Regarding no objections, subjects to the redactions.
This is exhibit 106.
Thank you.
Now, sir, if you know, about what time was it that Ms. Reed came into the emergency department at Good Samaritan that morning?
I mean, I can tell you from this chart, it looks like that at least the first posted vital signs were from 7:51, 5:1 in the morning.
And in reference to Ms. Reed, what is it that she came into Good Samaritan in regard to? Why was she there?
I'd have to review Daisy's note, so
Well, let me ask you this, sir. Was it in reference to Section 12? Do you recall?
yes.
And with regard to Section 12, patients that come in regard to that, what kind of involvement do you have, or who, if anyone, do you work with in regard to those types of patients?
Sure. So Section 12, I would define as involuntary detention of a person.
Why is it so uncomfortable?
Usually for a mental health concern, whether that's self-harm or harm to others, or if someone who's, afflicted with schizophrenia or psychosis, members of the public can bring someone to or the police or members of the public can bring someone to the hospital on a Section 12, which, again, involuntarily detains them for evaluation.
And in addition to yourself, is there other staff? You mentioned that there were physician's assistants or nurses that were working. How much involvement would you typically have with someone who comes in on that kind of prognosis or diagnosis?
I would say, to answer your question, my involvement is variable and dependent a lot of times on what that nurse practitioner or physician assistant feels like they need or want my involvement to be.
And what kind of involvement would you have as far as when someone comes in with that kind of issue? What is sort of the typical protocol or policies that a Good Samaritan would undergo with reference to that patient? What are you doing with reference to the patient when they arrive?
I'm sorry, I think I don't really understand what the question is.
Oh my God.
So,
Wow.
with regard to a patient coming in on a Section 12, what happens with that person once they present in the ER?
So whether they're evaluated by me or a nurse practitioner or physician assistant, if that person feels like, based on their evaluation, that they need a mental health consult or evaluation, then they would have that initiated, as well as what we do for a lot of patients or all patients, vital signs. And
this guy has like periods and commas where they don't
sometimes
belong in
blood
his
work as
sentences.
well.
Do you hear them?
And when it comes to that sort of blood work or assay, as far as what's being done with someone who comes in with that kind of report, what is sort of being tested and what is being looked at as far as the blood work is concerned?
This guy's a doctor?
Well, there's a few reasons to get blood work, but
I wouldn't trust him to
in
like
general,
look at my mouse.
part of the evaluation is, with respect to the medical presentation, to make sure there's no medical emergencies present, in addition to whatever the mental health concern may be. There's also blood work drawn with respect to disposition as far as some people. For example, it would be inappropriate to have a mental health evaluation if, for example, I were intoxicated on alcohol and my alcohol level were elevated, because I think the idea is that you're not getting, a true representation maybe of what's going on.
So am I correct in that someone presents and then there's like sort of you medically clear that person as far as any sort of injuries or anything like that first?
I wouldn't say first necessarily. I think a lot of times these processes happen in parallel.
So in parallel, you have the medical clearance and then sort of psychological clearance as well?
Sometimes, yes.
And then sort of involved in both of those, there would be blood drawn and reference to the section 12 as far as a typical one would be looking for sort of alcohol and drugs of abuse, things of that nature.
I mean, I'm hesitant to answer yes because of the word typical, because I wouldn't say there's really a typical presentation with respect to mental health presentations in the ER.
And from your memory and or your review of the chart, was that done as far as the blood work done with regard to Ms. Reed on this date?
Are you asking me if blood work was drawn?
Yes.
I believe so. I have to double check. So yes, it looks like there was blood work drawn.
And among the things that were tested within the facility within Good Samaritan was the alcohol screen. Is that correct?
Yes.
And what is the result of that alcohol screen as contained within those records?
Going on.
Do I answer or no?
Yes.
So it looks like 93.93. I'd have to maybe look deeper in the chart to tell you the units of that measurement. I don't want to guess. So but to answer your question, 93.
May I approach this briefly on?
Yes.
I just
93. So like 0.093. Yeah. So if you are lost, Sherry, how do you think the jury feels? The jury's at the mercy of a terrible prosecutor. There's no worse punishment than that.
I'm directing your attention to a tap portion of that.
Sure.
Do you see the units that 93 pertains to contained within that record, sir?
So yes, it looks like it's milligrams per deciliter.
Thank you, sir.
Milliliters per deciliter. Okay, so 0.093.
May I approach this to retrieve, Your Honor?
Yes.
Yep.
Thank you, sir. I have no further questions of this witness, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Little?
All right, let's hope she gets some clearing up. Kyle says that means he was still alive inside the 1.5 hours. Can you clarify?
Hi.
Kyle?
You testified that you treated Ms. Reed when she arrived at the hospital on January 29th, correct?
I don't know if I testified that I treated her, but I was involved in her care. Yes.
You actually wrote the reports regarding her care, correct?
That is not correct.
Would it refresh your recollection to take a look at the report?
The report, I believe we're talking about the note, the emergency room note was written by a nurse practitioner.
Would it refresh your recollection to take a look at some additional reports from January 29th?
Sounds like you want to show me some reports, so sure.
Thank you. May I approach?
Yes.
Okay.
Is your recollection refreshed? Do you recall treating Ms. Reed on January 29th?
I do not.
Oh, he has no independent memory.
Writing a report that has your name, case, and race on it from January 29th?
No, it depends what you define report as. To best answer your, well, do I recall writing this note? No. Is that what your question was?
So is it your testimony that do you recall treating Ms. Reed at all?
No, I don't.
Do you recall actually ordering her blood in this case?
No.
Do you recall sending it out to the labs at all?
No.
As you sit here today, you don't know who collected the blood?
That's correct.
You don't know who packaged the blood?
That would also be a fair assessment, yes.
And you don't know who submitted that to the lab?
Correct.
Wow.
Correct.
I can confidently say that I did not collect blood work. Yeah, I did not do that.
Okay. You testified that you treated Mr. O'Keefe upon arrival on January 29th, correct?
Yes.
Did a firefighter ever approach you on the morning of January 29th and tell you that he had information suggesting that the victim had been struck by a vehicle?
Objection.
Do you remember that?
I do not.
So if a firefighter indicated that he informed you that he had information suggesting that Mr. O'Keefe had been in some sort of vehicular accident, that's something that you would have included in your report, correct?
I don't know if that's a fair assumption.
But as you sit here today, you have no recollection whatsoever of anyone telling you that the victim had appeared to be in some sort of car accident, correct?
Well, I think, I don't have it in front of me, but I think my note that I prepared for Mr. O'Keefe states that per EMS for.
Sorry, what was that?
Dr. Rice, you have no record. Apologies.
So I don't think he finished his answer.
So I think that what I was trying to say, right, was that on my note, it says per EMS report. So one of the medics, as in one of the folks on the ambulance who brought Mr. O'Keefe in, again, I'm not right in front of my note, but as I recall, it said something to the effect of per EMS report, the patient may have been struck by a vehicle.
Well, can I show you a copy of that report?
Please.
Yes.
Excuse me.
You can take a look at that.
All right. So,
I'll ask the question. Is your recollection
course.
refreshed?
yes.
Is there anywhere on that report that says that the patient came in and there was a statement by EMS that the victim appeared to have been struck by a vehicle?
Just give me a moment to read through the.
Sure.
Oh.
So no, there is not.
In fact, there's no mention of a vehicle whatsoever, correct?
That's correct.
Dr. Rice, did you observe Mr. O'Keefe's injuries when he arrived?
Yes.
Well, that
Oh
one-
my God. Yes.
I guess you'd have to define what observe injuries means.
Well, during the course of your treatment, did you inspect him for injuries?
So, yes,
You testified that you observed certain abrasions and scratches
I
on his
just
right
woke
arm,
up.
correct?
yes,
Aside from his injuries to his right arm, and I believe you described sort of laceration above his eye,
mhm,
John O'Keefe did not have a single other injury on his body from the neck down, correct?
I don't know if that's fair to say.
Well, you didn't report a single injury to his shoulders, correct?
Correct,
You did not report a single injury to his chest, correct?
correct,
You did not report a single injury to his torso, correct?
correct,
You did not report a single injury to his back, correct?
correct,
You also did not report a single injury to his ribs, correct?
correct,
Oh my
No injury to his
God.
hips, right?
correct,
Oh
You
my
observed no injury to
God.
his knees, correct?
I reported no injuries to his knees, correct,
No injuries to his shins, correct?
correct,
No injuries to his ankles,
Oh my
Right.
God.
correct,
and no injuries to his feet.
correct.
From the neck down, he did not have a single broken bone, right?
I don't know if that's a fair assessment or statement.
You certainly didn't notate in your report that he had any broken bones from the neck down, correct?
No, I did not. I'd happy to explain that, but to answer your question, no, I did not.
You did not report a single fracture from the neck down, correct?
I did not report a single fracture, correct.
Oh my God. How do you get hit by a car and not a single fracture?
Injuries that you testified to today were that he had sort of a laceration above his eyelid, correct?
The injuries that I testified to today, correct, yes.
And the scratches on his right arm.
On the right forearm, yes.
No further questions.
Holy crap! Wow!
Dr. Rice,
Oh
with
my God!
reference to
Wow!
fractures or broken bones, can you explain sort of why that may not have been noted or why that wasn't included within the chart?
Sure, yeah, I'd like to. So with a patient like Mr. O'Keefe who came in, the focus of myself and the team of physician assistant, nurse practitioner, and nurses, whoever was helping in a case like this, the focus is in core resuscitative medicine, of securing an airway, making sure he has a breathing tube in, making sure that the CPR is being applied the right pressure to the right place, making
Do you
sure
even
that
know what you're doing
the
as a
core
doctor?
resuscitative elements of medicine are
Elements
happening
of
unless,
medicine. Really, dude? It's like me testing, like asking an officer.
as in the mind can only focus on so much.
Elements of
So
police
I
work.
think in
What would you
cases like
say?
this,
Oh, he was so cold.
because the attention is
Oh
on
my God.
resuscitation of
You are
someone's
so
heartbeat, their
stupid,
life,
sir.
there's less focus on
What? You're not going to pay attention to
injuries
broken
or
bones?
observations that
You're not going to notice that? Are you insane?
don't
really
coincide
gonna
with the
try and cover
resuscitation
that?
effort or not pertinent to that resuscitative
lost
effort, if
your
that answers
mind?
if that answers your question.
So in that vein, it's not like you're doing X-ray.
Oh my God, I
or
can't believe what I'm
survey or
listening
something like
to.
No, we're not doing a full skeletal survey, no.
Because you're more concerned with the fact that his body core temperature is 80.
He's only
heart
focused on
doesn't
the
pump
body
in
core
blood
temperature.
and
You
his pulse,
fucking moron! No, you're lying.
Correct, unless there was an extremity injury that
You're a lying
would be pertinent to
scumbag.
his resuscitation if he had had a traumatic
You call yourself
amputation,
a
as in
doctor?
removal of a leg, for
You should
example.
be
That would be pertinent
medicalated.
to a resuscitation, but
I'm
an otherwise
sorry.
intact extremity, that is not necessarily within the realm of resuscitation.
Can I approach the witness?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I lost my mind. Oh my God, I lost my freaking mind. I apologize. I could not contain myself. That was the
I'm going
most.
to direct your attention on document. It's discharge.
I can't believe this guy's the
uninformed question.
doctor.
You can just read from that, look up when you finish.
This is the
Read
most
yourself.
embarrassing interaction I've ever seen in my entire life in a courtroom between a
What would you like me to
prosecutor
read
and
out
a
loud?
medical
So,
practitioner.
as far as the chart is concerned, as far as your clinical impression of Mr. O'Keefe, can you read sort of what you?
Sure, right. So I wrote clinical impression, cardiac arrest, comma, head trauma, comma, exposure to environmental cold.
I approach this to retrieve them.
Yes.
No further questions.
Anything further, Ms. Little?
No further questions.
All right, thank you, doctor. You are all set.
Thanks.
Break for lunch?
Rather than where it's 10 minutes of one, jurors, can we do an abbreviated lunch today so we can get as much of the testimony in as possible? So it's 10 minutes of one, why don't we come back here at 1:30? And can we go until 4:30 today?
1:30.
We'll see.
1:30.
Yes. If that changes, just let Officer Delano or Officer.
Not 2 p.m. We're coming back at
So we'll see
1:30.
back here at 1:30.
All right, so the court, please.
You are muted.
Okay.
This doctor, I can't call him a doctor. This is not a doctor.
No.
This is not a doctor. This is not a doctor. This is a guy who went to medical school and said, well, I has medical degree now. Let's see what happens.
Thank you, may be seated.
All right, so as far as the redactions that you think should be there, Ms. Little, and you perhaps don't, Mr. Lally, I don't know if the testimony opened the door any on some of what may or may not have been there. I don't have it in front of me. I haven't seen it. So the two of you talk, and if you're not in agreement, I would like a copy of both by 1:15 so that I can decide it before it goes in, and then it will be the next exhibit, either with or without the additional redactions. Okay?
She's giving them a
All right,
20-minute
thank you.
lunch.
All right.
She legitimately just gave him a 20-minute lunch. That is kind of annoying, but whatever. Wow. I'm sorry. I can't. I can't, folks. This is insanity. This is insanity. He's gonna try and say, "Oh, we examined the body. Sorry, we didn't examine the body. We didn't check it for any broken bones." Or you do understand if a car hit this man, that would be a giant blotch on his body where the impact happened. This is what I've been saying since day one. Since Turtle Boy joined me in September of 2023, I asked him, what does the autopsy report say? When the medical examiner takes the witness stand, that is going to be the creme de la creme of this trial, because the medical examiner examined every nook and cranny. So did this doctor, but he's trying to kind of distance himself. I don't know nothing. I don't see nothing. I don't hear nothing, because he's afraid of the McAlberts. They are the mafia that are running this town. I am convinced. That's why he's so scared. Not because it's being televised, not because it's national. He is petrified what the McAlberts are going to do to him and his career if he doesn't say exactly what they want him to say. Am I making myself clear? Do you understand? Did you see? I think that dude is on coke or something, because he just kept. He had you know those dry sniffles when you've got like coke up your nose and you got the dry sniffles. There's no mucus coming down the nostril. It's just a dry sniffle. Oh, I've seen it way too many times before. I know exactly what that is. Oh God, that guy is cringeworthy. I'm gonna go take a shower, folks. I need to wash the gay off of me, the dirt, the psychopathy, the hypothermia starts at 90 degrees. Common knowledge. There's so much that prosecutor left on the table. Another thing is the prosecutor being prepared. Exactly, DF forever. RJ Medic says cardiac arrest you assess for trauma, which is one of the T's and H's. I call BS. Exactly. The guy's an embarrassment to the medical field. 100%. 100%. Oh God. Flux is having a field day with my streaming. All right, folks. I will see you in 30 minutes, 35 minutes, right here back at on X, on Facebook, on Twitter. Wait, X is Twitter. On Facebook, on X, formerly known as Twitter, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, and on YouTube. I may have said Facebook twice. Anyway, see you guys soon. Bye, everybody.